Torre, you have really changed. What's happened to you, man?
I've lost a little weight and I've stayed out of the sun.
Well, it's good to see you, Sam.
Pleasure.
Hey, everybody. Sam, obviously, is running late, I think. He's supposed to be here. I don't know what's going on. So Jason is here because Jason is the new chef on board the Amigo. So we're going to kick it around between him and I for a little while until Sam shows up. Man, how's it feel to be the new chef on the Apollo? You got to be stoked about that.
Oh, it's going to be amazing. Every time I think about it, I can't wait for the season to start just to get out there and cook some food, get some fishing time in at the rail, and see all you guys that are the Friedman family out there. So
Tony, he just walked in here a second ago. He's up front with Ronnie. Ronnie, thanks for staying late for us. And they said that the phones are ringing. It feels like things are starting to finally rock and roll. And that's a good thing, man. I'm happy because we've got so much to get into. I mean, squid everywhere, and we've got sea bass, and there's been grunion runs, and I've got some bluefin tuna news. And you came in and you told me, man, put up more of those old school videos. So I don't know why I hadn't done that before, but I go, hey, I got a whole bunch of these 30 years ago, 35 years ago. So
it reminds me of back in the day, and I love it. So that's why it's just the whole enthusiasm of it and seeing the old guys fishing, all the old boats we know, it's reminiscent of old times. And it's good to see all that great fishing back then and see how great we're doing now and see that it hasn't, it's gone through lulls, but we're still fishing well and having a good time doing it. So
yeah, I mean, I was looking today and I go, what? Yeah, I haven't put any sand bass stuff up. And then I saw that sand bass with Todd Phillips, and I literally put that up there. And Todd sent me a message. It's like, why was he watching this at that point in time? But Todd sent me a message. He said his brother showed it to him. So good stuff, man. So are you going to do anything different on the Amigo? I mean, you've been on there. George was our chef before, and you raved about his cooking.
Yep.
Are you going to try to make it better, or what's the deal?
Well, as soon as I step on, it's probably going to go down a little bit because we know I'm not that great of a cook. But as soon as I get my experience up...
What are you talking about?
Well, definitely. I'm going to not necessarily change the whole system or anything, but we're definitely planning on, stepping up the food a little bit. That's my plan, at least, is to step up the food a little bit for you guys and give you guys a little bit more options and, change a little bit of our, boat burger thing, make it be a little bit more upscale.
Dan Smith says, hello. You love Dan. Dan's been posting all kinds of old photos himself here recently. Jeff from the 540 Slinger says that Sam looks like Jason tonight. What's going on?
It's an avatar.
And Dan Smith says hi to you. So anyway, folks, in case you're wondering, I think Sam is running late. I hope he's running late, not something else happened.
Yeah, well, it's raining, so, we'll give him a chance.
Baseball practice is canceled, that's for sure. But Sam should be here in a little bit. In the meantime, we've got Jason Lawler, who's a dear friend of mine. He's an outstanding chef, and I was so happy that you and Mark Paisano came together on board the Amigo. How do you like Mark?
I love Mark. I fished with him a few times last year when we were on the boat, and I've seen him on the docks a lot. I fished with his father back in the day. I've been on the Freedom when Jeff was also on the boat, being captain when they first took it over. So I kind of know everybody already, which makes it very nice. And then he's a young kid coming into it, so it's a great opportunity to, push the envelope a little bit. Like, young kids like to push it as opposed to being set in your ways. So
yeah, right.
I'm hoping we're going to have some fun this year. A little smaller boat where we can get into a little smaller spaces and kind of do what we've been doing already. Like when we were out there, with the bluefin and the Dorado and get into some rockfish. And hopefully we get into some white sea bass here early in the season. That's the plan. And, go from there. I'm just happy because we seem like a young crew and, looking to, take a bite of the pie. So
he's pretty wise. He seems wise beyond his years to me. He's a very mature 25-year-old, whatever.
Exactly. That's what's very nice is I don't see him as being a young kid really. Like to me, I'm 40, so he seems young to me, but he seems like a 35-year-old. He's I had a great time fishing with him, and he knows exactly what he's doing. He learned from, I'm sure, his father and from Jeff and them, and he's taking it all in. And I can't wait to get out there and fish with him.
Evidence that Sam De La Torre is alive and well. He's almost here, he said.
Awesome.
So anything you want to say before you get thrown off of here for a while? You're going to sit out there and help us, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm going to scroll
You'll
down
be the
the
executive director tonight?
Exactly. So
are you worried about, not worried, but you love to fish, man.
Yeah,
so when
definitely.
they're biting out there,
that's what I do.
and you got to cook a prime rib or something, are you going to be like, Torre?
I'll just set my timer, and then I'll know when to go back and forth. But hey, I'm also going to be deckhanding too a little bit. So,
oh, you are?
Yeah, so that's
you
one
mean
thing.
You're going to run out on deck if they're biting full speed?
Oh yeah, there might be times when George is cooking, and I'm going to be on the deck with everybody. So see me out there too. I'll be gaffing fish for you as well. So if we're in the bite and I'm the galley cook, hey, I'll be cooking and gaffing and running back and forth. I plan on having a good time with that. So
how cool is that?
Oh, it's going to be so fun.
This has got to be your dream job, man.
It is turning into that. Yes, definitely. We had this idea last year of trying to, do some fun stuff on the Amigo,
right.
And to have it step in and have it actually happen this season, we'll see what happens.
No, we've got several trips on there, so I'm excited to have you as the chef out there. That's
I'm debating whether I don't want to be the chef and I'd rather just go on the trip with us. Or I'll be deckhanding. Bring George out and I'll deckhand.
Dude, if you're the cook on our trip, man, you're going to have hey, come on out and throw a bait, Jason.
Exactly. So it'll be fun either way. I'll get to work and I'll get to fish with all the family and everybody. So
totally.
That's what's going to be the fun part. And also teaching people how to fish. I've been out there so much. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be doing a lot of slow pitch jigging. So if you're out there, you're going to see me doing that when we're rock fishing and having some fun with that, just see what we can catch and be wild with it and get some funny videos. So if you want to learn a little bit of that, you can always ask me. I'll let you use my gear a little bit if I'm cooking. So that's one part is I want to go out there and teach some people a little bit of fishing while we're out there as well.
This is the perfect thing, man, because not only are you a great chef, but you're a nice person who's willing to share his knowledge about fishing. So some guy who's watching this right now and he's going to be on board the Amigo might say, yeah, I really would like to learn slow pitch, and I don't know exactly how to do it. I can go in the galley and talk to this chasing guy.
And people are kind of scared of slow pitch. It's different than what we're doing, so people are scared to get into it or don't have the money, think they need to spend a lot. You can come on and see me do it a little bit, and hey, I'm one of the crew. You don't have to feel weird. Some people feel that some boats don't like it when you slow pitch or do those kind of things. But, we can get away from that stigma, and if I'm out there doing it and showing people that we can catch fish and have some fun with it, that all the better for everyone.
Absolutely. Emilio Escobar says, hey, what's going on, guys? Chef Jason working on the Amigo.
Yes,
absolutely, 100%. 1911 Nate checking in with the Friedman fam. Love the content. Can't wait to hit the waters this year. Nate, you're number one. Thanks for that. Emilio says some good bluefin recipes for us. You want to give them one right now? Or?
I won't give them one right now, but that's the other thing, too. I'll be on the boat is I'll be filming a lot, filming the dinners we're going to be doing, and I will be able to do a lot more of those fish recipes, and I'll be filming them out on the boat and doing stuff like that. So we'll have a lot more content on recipes, on how to cook your catch, those kind of things.
Plus, when you get in, you're going to run in here and give us a fishing update, too, right?
Exactly. So fishing reports and cooking reports, we'll have it all out there. I'm going to be posting a lot of videos. I'll have you post a lot of the videos as well. So there'll be a lot of more content, a lot more up-to-date stuff you'll see right away.
That sounds awesome to me. Dino says, good evening, Phil and Jason. I'm still waiting for you guys to come down to BNS Brewery. Man, we got to get down there.
I'm down for that.
Because I love Dino. He's a great guy. And I just am dying to get down there. Ruben Lopez says, hey, guys, Ruben. Sorry that video was so late last night. I put up a video on YouTube. Man, the upload to YouTube last night was just forever. But it got on there. I hope you enjoyed that, Ruben. Emilio, you guys haven't tried bluefin ceviche? Oh, I have.
I've done it before.
Haven't you had it?
Yeah, I've had it, but I don't do it all the time. A lot of people stay away from red fish on doing ceviches.
I don't mind it.
You know what it is? It's something that people don't do in restaurants because the color changes, because it kind of cooks the outside. You more see seared, tuna and like that, and done in like a carpaccio type of way. But hey, don't worry about the color, because it's going to cook the outside. It tastes wonderful, doesn't change a thing. It's a great, put it to any ceviche recipe. It's freaking
Boy,
awesome.
I'll tell you, nothing makes me, I don't like to air my dirty laundry on a show, but nothing makes me angrier than when a guest is so, oh, hi, Sam. How are you, man? It's good to see you. Do you want to say goodbye to everybody?
Yeah.
Or,
We'll finish our ceviche talk real quick.
Oh, yeah, please. I'm sorry.
You were saying how much you love.
I love any kind of ceviche, and I've made it out of barracuda and all kinds of stuff.
It's all about how you treat the fish.
It's the fish is fresh, right?
Yep, exactly.
You want to give a quick ceviche recipe?
Well, you just use the usual ingredients. You pretty much, what I do is just make a pico de gallo. So pico de gallo is what? Tomatoes, onions, cilantro, lemon or lime juice, and
salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper, a little bit of garlic, whatever your favorite one is. And then just what I normally do is cook the fish in some lime juice and lemon juice. And if you want to sweeten up a little bit, maybe one orange. And let that cook in there and do that for an hour or so, depending on what the size is that you cut it. And then drain that off. You can save that. I'm not one that likes that because it's a little fishy flavor.
I like to drain it off.
But that's your
personal
Clamato,
preference.
like, to make your Bloody Marys, you know, like that's a good thing, your hangover medicine.
Yeah.
But then I'll add that into the pico de gallo, and that's your simplest recipe. And you can always change it up to using tomatillos and cucumbers and that kind of thing, but it's very simple just to do pico de gallo, chop it up, and add the fish to
Something
it.
tells me when I went to your place, you did some weird special ceviche.
Oh,
just
that's
to
right.
Die for.
Yep,
What was it?
What was it? I think it was a rockfish ceviche or yellowtail. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was good. You were there too, right?
Yeah, we did the video on that, so definitely. And then we did the special too with that. So I think we had Eddie Leland there even when we did that video.
Jeff wants to know, Jason, will you cut up some bonita sashimi on the trip if requested?
Yes.
All right, perfect.
I plan on filleting fish as well, so you're going to see a lot of fish out there.
Ruben Lopez liked the video last night. Thank you, Ruben. You're number one. Emilio Escobar says, my favorite, Israel de la Cruz. April 2nd is my next event at BNS Brewery. I'll be there. I got to find the time. I'm sorry, guys. This weekend, I'm shot, but possibly.
If I'm not fishing April 2nd,
let's
then
go.
We'll go.
We'll go. The two of us. We've got to get down there. Sorry about that. Sorry we haven't been able to do that before. Let's see. Emilio says you can save it for micheladas.
Yep, exactly.
310 Rod Work. Sounds like Darren Dohe to me. I'm doing some spring cleaning at 310 Rod Works, but I've got you playing while I'm working. Looking forward to a great show this evening. Curtis, we're going to get you on here in a second, Sam. Curtis Berger, hey, Phil, it was a pleasure meeting you at Bass Pro last weekend. Saturday, awesome show. Thanks, take care. Curtis brought just a bunch of clothing from Mexico, which I love people like that. I mean, it's the pain in the, he had to bag it, he had to bring it down, he had to, Curtis, thank you, man. That was really a beautiful thing. Chuck Zimmer, I'll be on the October Amigo trip. Can't wait.
Awesome.
Chuck, I'm going to Mexico this weekend. Call me after the show. We'll see what's going on. 540 Slinger, good to see you in the chat. Darren Dohe. Dino, yes, Izzy, the next Friends of Rolla raffle is April the 2nd. So, yeah, I'm going to San Diego on Friday. I'm doing 3 podcasts down there with some captains. Then I'm going across the border because I got something down there. And then I'm coming back for a day at the docks. And then I'm going to the Bart Hall show with this guy, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So that should be fun. Jason, man, I'm
Pleasure.
It was good to have you here, man. Don't forget your mic.
Yep.
And now we get to bring in Samuel de la Torre. And thank you so much, Jason.
Of course.
Hey, everybody.
I'll go do the director's
Jason
spot.
Lawler. Yeah, you can scroll that thing because there's a lot of comments
exactly.
coming in.
And
It seems like.
Me2 or whatever on back here.
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah,
Sam, I'm starting to get worried, man.
Yes, please.
Are you okay? Good to
yeah.
see you, man.
Yeah.
How do you keep up? My schedule's crazy, but man, your freaking schedule has been out of control lately.
Well, it's show season,
Yeah.
so that's what we're doing here.
Yeah. So let's go back to Bart Hall Del Mar for a second. How
Yeah.
was it?
It was really good for us. We've never really had the opportunity to participate down there like we did this year. And, Bart, asked me early on, said, this isn't a chance for you guys. There's not too many retailers going to be down there. If you want to come down and have a big spot, you could have it. So we went down there. He was really good about making sure we can set up early and all that kind of stuff. Because being from far away, we didn't know, what the program was going to be.
Right.
So that was really cool. I mean, we had a big spot over there, bigger than we've ever had at any of his shows, and it worked out really good. I think I'm pretty positive about trying to go back down there again if you'll have us. This year I think part of it was that some of the booths weren't going to be there, so he was kind of just wanting to have anybody who would participate come down and do that, in which we did, and it worked out really good for us. I hope the show does really well, and all the regulars, quote unquote regulars down there, come back at some point, because I think doing a show in your neighborhood is kind of a cool deal.
Yeah, right.
And it
was pretty well attended, wasn't it?
Yeah, a little bit out of our zip code as far as customer base, but we, now with all our long range, stuff that we do, we had a lot of guys down there that were happy to see us down there, and real appreciative that we went down there to have a booth. So it was good for us. I mean, I really am glad we went down there.
All right, jump to the PCS show. How was that?
Obviously, super well attended. I think I did have some concerns going into it, thinking that, with the different buildings and things like that.
Right.
Might be a little tough for guys, but actually the way that they had it set up with that middle kind of like courtyard area with the music and everything like that, and then good food over there. I think it worked out pretty good. They had the trout thing for the kids, and that was in a good spot. And to me, I felt like it was a little different, being kind of an indoor-outdoor show in a way. There were some of those booths that were kind of in between the buildings. Kind of feel sorry for those guys. I know it was pretty cold at night.
Yeah, I know, right?
But I know it was very well attended, so it was crowded. I know Saturday was crazy crowded, and obviously Thursday, the first day, was pretty well crowded too. So overall, it was a great show.
Do you go to Day at the Docks?
No,
you don't do that, right?
I used to do that when I used to work over at Bart Hall, and it was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was kind of like I was a one-man show. I used to take it all in my pickup truck and whatever I can fit, and it was pretty good.
Yeah. That's Sunday.
That's Sunday, yeah. But
and
I won't be going this year. Yeah.
Bart Hall, Long Beach, you will be there.
Definitely will be there, yeah. And
I think I'm going to jump in with you, maybe.
Yeah, and we're going to have another big booth,
Yeah.
like how we had at Del Mar. And, as these shows kind of gain momentum now, I think it's going to be a good show. So
Me too.
yeah, at first it was kind of like, well, nobody's going to go and this and that, and people being real down on it. But after the first show and obviously the second show, PCS, I think there's definitely some momentum, and it looks like a lot of guys are coming back on board. So when I was talking to Bart the other day, it looks like he's selling out pretty good. So
Good.
It should be good.
Because we would definitely want him to get back in the game,
sure,
right?
for
We
sure.
want that to be a successful
Well, Long
show.
Beach, it's always been the big show. And,
Right.
I mean, for me, my kids are 7 and 8. I want to be able to, one day I don't have to do the show, hopefully, and I can take them to the show. I mean, I want them to have the same experiences I had when I was a kid. So
I didn't know what
it's a
to
good
root
deal.
for tonight, to have you on the show or have you go to the kids' baseball practice, man.
Well,
it was a hard
the
decision.
rain went out, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it made a decision
Yeah.
easy, right? Brett Ender, another Chef Jason fan, says hello to Chef Jason. 540 Slinger
on
says, what's up, Evan? Isaac says, good evening, stay dry, everyone. How's the traffic coming in here? Crazy?
It was a little
bit of
slow.
rain.
Yeah, with the rain, slowed it down.
Danielle Sansi says, hello. Christopher Navarro, Sam I am. William says, do you have any info on any halibut derbies in the LA Harbor, Long Beach area, South Bay? Halibut are here. How's the grunion? Did they show?
Did they? I don't know. You went out.
They didn't
right?
show it Thursday. I went that first night, and I bailed the rest of the time. It's just brutal. You know, when they don't show, it sucks.
I wonder what this rain does for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't
There's got to
know.
be some type of biological thing or something, but
Captain Tommy Holland, I don't know if you know him or not, but you probably do. He's been saying all this rain equals albacore. I did an albacore forecast tonight.
it's got to happen now, right?
Oh my God, yeah, man, let me tell you.
10 times the charm, yeah.
Did you haven't had a chance to listen to it, have you?
Uh-uh.
No. So the cold water edge came down to Point Blanca last year.
Okay.
And all the albacore were caught from there up to Oregon. Okay? You know where that thing is now?
No.
And this is the same time of year. It's 350 miles south. It's off San Francisco.
Really?
And it's getting shoved down because there's a really, really forceful La Nina. Even though, you're laughing already because I'm screwing this up again.
Well, San Francisco's way closer than Point Blanca.
It is!
It's just right up the road, right?
It's still moving this direction.
It would be in California. I mean,
it's in
wasn't
California.
specific, yeah.
It's early still.
Yeah.
And it's pushing this thing down. So I don't know, man. We'll have to see what happens.
The Trippin did that trip up last year, right? Where
They went up there and caught albacore.
You never know, yeah.
That's what I told Scott, man. I won the bet.
Yes, you
The
did.
San Diego-based boat caught albacore. So is there any halibut derbies going on around here? I don't think so.
Not coming up. I mean, I know they do that Santa Monica Derby, but that's
That's right.
That's
That
a little
guy,
later,
he
right?
contacted me. When is that? April.
Yeah,
I
it's a
think.
little, it's a little later.
Yeah.
I don't think there's nothing coming up right
He
now.
asked me to help him promote, and I forgot all about it. So I'm glad
you
you
go.
just reminded me. Grunion, I didn't see him, and nobody, I kept asking people, hey, if you saw Grunion, let us know, and nobody did. Mike Trunk was at Island Tackle yesterday, got some cork tape and flock wrap, figured it out, worked out great.
Awesome.
You got to be
Awesome.
happy with
Yeah,
that, right?
yeah.
Another satisfied customer. Charles Zimmer, that's Chuck, in case you didn't know. Hey, do you recognize that name, or He's
Yeah.
one of the nice. Oh, you know him?
Yeah.
He's one of the nicest
Chuck's in,
guys.
yeah, went to the meeting, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Been to the shop a bunch of times.
Chuck, I'm sorry. I'm getting
Come on,
old.
Chuck, this guy here.
Yeah, I'm out of it. Don't pick
He
on
posts
me.
every night.
This is
guy,
elder abuse.
You think I don't watch the show? I know who Chuck is.
You're gonna go to jail for elder abuse, man. Picking on me. Anyway, Chuck's a great guy. I haven't even read his comment yet.
Yeah.
I'm trying to talk him into going to Mexico with me because he's got the drone, and we could do some cool stuff. He said, "Hey Sam, do you have any 800XH CalStar blanks? I've had a hard time finding one."
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's probably one of the most common phone calls I get, text messages and stuff like that on that specific blank. But that stuff's coming. That every time I go over there, they're pushing more and more stuff out.
Yeah.
It always seems like whenever I tell somebody that, they always say, "Well, what about this?" And I say, "Well, I haven't seen that one yet, but more and more the stuff's coming out of CalStar." So pretty positive that 800XH blank. I'm sure they've got 1,000 of those things on back order because everyone wants one. But I would imagine you'll probably see one here, hopefully in the near future.
What is that blank for?
It's an 8-foot, 50-pound, 60-pound blank.
Oh, nice.
It's with this fishing that we've been doing here lately. In years past, it wasn't a very popular blank because once you went to that 50, 60-pound, you would get into a shorter rod. But now with guys being more comfortable with the longer 8-foot rod, that 800XH and even the double XH, which is one right above it, has been a huge hit, and so that's one that everybody wants, the 800XH and a 2XH.
Hopefully it'll show up here pretty soon, right?
Yeah, I mean the best
What
I
is
can
it,
tell
supply
you.
chain stuff?
You know what? I'm sure it's more complicated than that.
Yeah.
I mean, but they are so busy over there, and I know that it's a small facility. We always think of CalStar, being a big brand. It's big to us, because it's homegrown. It's our kind of local brand, been around for a long time. But they're a small operation, and so they have a lot of customers worldwide, and they fulfill a lot. But there has been some supply chain things that everybody's gone through, but they're doing their best to catch up. And obviously, with fishing being so good the last 10 years, I mean, they're just behind.
Yeah.
And they're a company that doesn't have the ability to just double, triple their workforce.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen. So they're but I see it being better every time. I go there like twice a week to pick stuff up, and I see it better and better every time.
You think I invite you on the show because I actually like you, but man, so many people tune in. It's just a business decision.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it's not. You know that. West Coast Wally. Philip, keep up all that you do for our fishing community. You're a good man. Got Wally fooled, don't I? Huh? Wally, thank you so much. Jason's agreeing with that. Really appreciate it, man. Really, really do. David says, "What's up, Phil? And what's up, Sam? Good to see you here, David."
Yeah.
Dan Smith, Sam, try to get Phil under control. Help get to meet you at the. Do you remember him?
Yeah.
Lovely guy, and his wife Kim. Really great people.
Calm down.
I got to calm. Why?
Easy.
Well,
Slow down.
do you notice I'm going between this and the coffee? I
something
can't make up
going
my
on
mind what to drink tonight. I'm going insane, man. I've been doing like Bass Pro Shop stuff back to back
All
to
over.
back. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I saw. That was pretty cool.
How about the old videos that I've been putting up? Have you seen those? Like the old, say, 30 years ago stuff?
I haven't
You
seen that one. No.
I've been putting shorts of it.
Really?
Jason
The
came
old
in.
stuff?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
People love it, man.
Yeah.
I put one up, the Matt Walsh today.
Okay.
Todd Phillips running the boat.
Really?
And he sent me a text like 30 seconds later. He goes, "Whoa, I just thank you, man," which tripped me out.
That's cool. Todd's a cool dude.
Oh, he's a good guy. I saw him. I was taking a walk over here the other day, and I saw him. "Hey, Sam, I'm 15 and looking for a job. Am I too young to be hired?" Now, there's a nice kid. David, I like you already, man. Is he too young?
No, I think whatever the labor laws are
Wanna
these
know.
years. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think if it's 15 or 16. I know you got to have a permit from school, and you can only
If you're
work
15?
Well,
or even
I think
16?
I think it's 16. I forget what it is. I apologize for not knowing off the top of my head, but
No, that's
but
all right.
either way, whenever you're under 18, you got to have a work permit. So you got to get that from your school, and you can only work so many hours a week because
Right.
obviously you still got to go to school. But no, as long as your school says it's cool, you got to get that from them first. Yeah, definitely not early to work. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the boats are now these days, but I think it's right around that age. I mean, 15 sounds about right.
Yeah.
But as long as you get that clear from school, come on down, we could talk. Bring down a resume or something like that.
David, we got you a job here, or at least we got you an interview.
There
You
you
got
go.
your foot in the door, dress nicely, come in, be respectful. all of those things, right? Yeah, all right, that's cool. Current Jam. Hi, lovelies. I had an off-topic question regarding drag setting on 2-speed level drags. Do you all consider the max capacity of the fluoro? So if your main line is 65 and your fluoro is 40, do you adjust?
Yeah, definitely you're going to adjust it to whatever your leader size is or whatever's the smallest part of your line. So if you had, let's say like nowadays with this bluefin tuna, we're fishing like 300-pound leaders. We're not going to set it to 300-pound. We're not going to adjust it to that size. It's going to be to something more nominal. But what he's talking about, 65 to 40, you're definitely set for the 40. Most common is going to be 25 to a quarter to a third. So you're going to be in that 10 to 17-pound range. Some guys, as they get more and more confident with their knots and their connections, they'll bump it up to that 1/3. So I think that I was just having a conversation with the customer just yesterday about it, and about how how is it that you can set it so tight. And I think a lot of it just comes with practice on your connections. That's where you really take the time to slow down, tie your knots, make sure that the knots are good, and sometimes you got to retie. If it doesn't look just right, cut it, retie it, and you'll see that you'll be able to set your drag a little bit tighter and bring in the fish a little bit faster. But that comes with a little bit of a disclaimer. You're going to lose some fish over it, but my thought, especially with this bluefin, is that you'll be on a fish a lot less time if you.
Which is super important.
Yeah. That sometimes loses you fish too, being on the fish too long. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're always going to set it to the lightest part of your line.
Right. Okay. Very good. Let's see. Rick Slater says that somebody ran a video from Oceanside, and there was a lot of grunion apparently.
You went to the wrong beach.
What the heck, man? Why didn't you tell me, Rick?
Where'd you go? Right out front?
Of course. It's good there, man.
Yeah, it should be.
I shouldn't shoot my mouth. Should I shoot my mouth off and say where it's really good?
Grunion production, huh?
Yeah, I know, man. We have 500 people down there, and we're trying to catch yellowfin croaker at night,
Post
man.
the
We
map
don't
right
know.
now. You can post the
No.
Bill's house here, Grunion here.
Mapped it out already.
It gets good down there because there's no lights there.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a private beach.
Yeah.
It's really not, but you got to come in from way down there at the tower, which is no big deal. But it gets really good.
It's a long beach too. It's just really far to the water. Whereas some of the other places, like over here in San Pedro, it's really close to the water.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It is a little.
Actually,
bit of a walk.
it's not. It's the erosion there has
really?
eroded all the sand to where it's like really dicey now. So supposedly in September, and I get this from John, I can't remember his last name. He's in charge of getting the Navy. They're going to pump sand in.
Oh.
It's 1.5 million cubic something yards of sand. So now, if I had to guess, I'd say it's 100 feet to walk to the beach, like when I walk out there. He said when they're done, it'll be 300 yards.
300 yards?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a big difference.
Yeah. That's
kinda
huge.
crazy.
So
Well,
I don't know if that improves the surf fishing or what.
I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah, right, exactly. Let's
You don't want
screw it
nobody
all.
going there.
He said, did you like the video of those broomtail groupers? I got more just to my YouTube channel. Phil, those are my pants.
I think it's plants.
I raised it.
I raised them to, yeah. Hey, dude, that was great. I don't know, did you see those things?
Yeah, you said you want to do it.
No, that was cool, man.
Raised his pants?
No, I don't know what he's talking about.
Raise them right now.
Those broomtails out the bait receiver. Yeah, I think Dan's right. You got to get me under control tonight. I'm out of control. Jason Lawler says, send in your questions. Thank you, Jason. You're kicking butt. SoCal Steve, I had the pleasure to meet Sam at Bart Hall show in San Diego. Cool guy. Boy, you fooled this guy, too. And like the informative videos on Friedman Adventures. He does know what he's talking about. So I take that back. Somebody just slammed a door, isn't he, right? Sound like to the dogs. All right, so do you remember this gentleman? You got an incredible memory.
I will say this here is, doing this thing here when we first started, it was just about trying to have some fun, make some content, and to do some. But I've been kind of blown away by the response, about
me too.
People just kind of, bringing it up, and I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to do it. I know that
I love having you.
We work together and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I have
been friends
been,
for a long time.
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of that back, man. So it's been really, really cool. And I really appreciate people watching. Me
too. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, and making sure that they're listening. And it blows me away. I mean, I'm always the kind of person, I just want to give information out.
Yeah.
And so for me, I just do it because that's what I like to do. So I really feel good about people appreciating it. And
Me too.
It's really, really nice to have a platform to do this on.
You know, it's weird. When I did 976 Tuna, everybody knew my voice, but they didn't
Right.
necessarily know me.
Yeah.
So, like, only 2 years into this, I figured it's going to take a while to grow this, and but I swear to God, I go down. It wasn't with him. It was Bob Gifford sitting on the sidewalk at a bar. I'm not drinking, but I'm having whatever the burger was.
Yeah.
Guy walks by. Hey, I love your stuff.
I know.
And all over the place. I was with my wife at Vaughn's, and 2 guys walked up and
Yeah.
said, "Oh my God, I love your stuff." So it's weird. This thing is, I don't know,
Now,
man. People have no taste.
Let me ask
They're
you this
watching
here.
the
I
show.
mean, my wife, one of the things, I love her to death, Adrienne.
Yeah.
She's awesome. But one of her little, I don't think she doesn't hate it, but I think it just, she thinks it's funny
Yeah.
more than anything, is that we'll go somewhere, we'll go to the fair, we'll go somewhere, and then somebody
People
will
know
be there.
you.
People know you. She's like, man, you just think you're so cool, huh? I'm like, I don't know, it's not me. One time we were in Hawaii. I mean, at the top of one of those, places you go and make the big hike and everything.
Yeah.
A big long drive. I think
Yeah.
it was a road to Hana. And so we stop and get something to eat at one of the little roadside places, and sure enough, there's a guy 1,000 miles away. Hey Sam, what are you doing? I'm like, oh no,
That
I'm
is-
gonna get it now.
That is funny.
But it's awesome. I mean,
It is.
It's pretty cool.
It's great, yeah.
Yeah.
And you make these shows so great. You I tell by the amount of people who are watching. Oh man, always
it's
good
fun.
to have you here.
It's fun,
Yeah,
man.
let's keep this rolling for another 10 years. How old are you?
47.
Oh hell, you can take over. My kids are not interested in doing it. It's all yours. Well, I'll be dead in 10 years, won't I? I'm
don't think so.
65 on March 23rd. That's not
11.
too long. Not really. Yeah, thanks, Jason. Jonathan K., what are Sam's top 2 preferred fly line setups? 1 for patty and school-size fish, 1 for bluefin. Rod length and rating tube, please. Excellent question, Jonathan.
Wow, that's a tough one. That patty fishing, it's typically a 15 to 25 pound fish. Normally, I'm fishing 20 or 25 pound, unless the fish are going really good. Sometimes you can fish heavier line and they'll eat everything in the water. But when it's a little bit of a picky bite, I'd say 20, 25 pound for sure. As far as the reel, I don't know. I got a lot of them that I like a lot. That Saltiga 20 size reel I really like a lot. They make it in a Saltis as well, but that Saltiga 20 is like just a beautiful, great fly lining reel that has a lot of drag, super smooth drag, and whenever I feel like I'm finesse fishing and I don't know what I'm going to hook, whether it's a 15-pound fish or a 45-pound fish, I feel like I always got that nice drag that's going to be good in a situation that maybe I didn't expect.
Yeah.
On the other side, the really popular reel that we saw a lot of is the Trinidad 14. Same concept, small, lightweight. It's a little bit lighter than the Saltiga, but I feel like the Saltiga is a little bit smoother just because offshore you just don't know what you're going to end up hooking. As far as a rod, I like an 8.5-foot rod. I really like that United Composites Phantom. It's a really nice rod, but I don't know. I've gone through so many over the years. That Calstar 800M, which is also a hard one to get. So if you're putting something out you can't get, but 800M or MH I like a lot. For the heavy stuff, for bluefin fishing, fly line fishing can be, bluefin anything, same thing. It could be a 20-pound fish or a 200-pound fish. But when we're talking, let's say, more of a regular size, 60 to 80-pound fish, which what we've had, 40, 50-pound test, something like a Penn, 25 narrow Torque is what I use. And I use an 800H rod or a United Composites. I really like that Terminator a lot. It's a little bit stiffer rod, and I'd probably fish a more 50, but it's so light that, when it's a really pick bite and you might be trying for one bite in 3 or 4 hours, I feel like it's really light in your hand, and when it do get bit, it's got a lot of power.
Yeah.
So that Terminator from United Composites I really like a lot too as well, but that kind of go back and forth between that and a Calstar 800H.
Excellent.
Hard to beat.
I should mention, everybody, that the Freedom is going Friday night, and they need some people. If you want to go, it sounds like good weather opportunity. It's going to get a little windy late Saturday, but you should be able to get all Saturday in wherever they go. The Monte Carlo just needs a couple of people to run tomorrow here at 22nd Street Landing, as does the Pursuit. Those guys are going tomorrow. This rain will be gone. It should be really nice. There's not any wind Wait a minute. What is it? Yeah, there is a little wind tomorrow coming.
Tomorrow?
So, yeah, a little bit, I think. Unless
next
that
day.
forecast got revised or something. But by Friday, things are looking really, really good. So hopefully you'll be able to get out. And locally, they're catching some sheep's head and whitefish
Yeah.
and sculpin. And
Someone told me the sea bass are going to bite this weekend, right?
that wasn't me, was it?
I think it was.
I'm predicting albacore. I didn't predict sea bass.
I heard you talk about one. Maybe it was last year's thing. I don't know. But I have heard a lot of talk. The guys coming in the shop is
Yeah.
they're expecting something to happen this weekend.
Really?
I don't know if it's a moon thing. I don't know if it's a whatever. But it feels like they feel like it's on the verge.
So
So maybe the Freedom will get some.
maybe they will. Well, maybe they'll get some bluefin tuna too, because that dope I got on the bluefin
Oh,
tuna.
Bluefin and sea bass, that'd be all right.
This research vessel, this comes from a
Yeah,
guy. He
yeah,
told
yeah.
me to keep my mouth
I
shut.
saw that, yeah.
I've trusted this guy for 100 years.
He won't tell you again.
No, I know. No, I asked him. I go, can I put this out, but not put your name to it? He goes, yeah, but don't
That was
mention who.
no.
Yeah, right. Quiet. You're gonna get me in trouble with him. But he swears that the guy saw it. And then, like, coincidentally, Victor from Blackfin down there in Ensenada, he said, hey, we got a signal on bluefin down here. We're gonna look this weekend. So I don't know if a commercial guy told Victor something, or somebody saw some fish, or who knows. So I think that's ready to go here pretty soon.
That's one thing I did see at the show. It seems like everybody is like ready to
Amped
get
up,
back in.
ready to go.
For sure.
It sounds like it's going to be a great season.
Yeah.
And we got a lot still to talk about,
Sounds
man.
good for work for me.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, you'll be steady for sure. Yeah,
Are you going on the Amigo this year?
I'm sure at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, you should come on one of our
yeah.
trips. You've been threatening for years.
I know. Every time I try to go on, it's full, man. These trips are so popular. You
I
know.
know. Thank you. Can't be me. Emilio Escobar, any opinions on the Graph Tech rail rod?
It's a great rod. We saw
Or
a
the
lot of it.
railroad, Emilio, actually.
Railroad,
But
yeah.
I know that was spell. I know it was spell check. Don't worry about it.
So that's a rod that a lot of shops sell. We saw a lot of them. It's kind of regarded as an entry level rail rod.
Yeah.
But I will say that, you know, now with bluefin fishing and everybody using the rail and everybody needing a international 30 for an overnight trip here locally, there's a lot of rail rods on the market. And you have your premium stuff, your CalStar, United Composites, Seeker, all that kind of stuff like that. There's kind of a whole nother level of entry level rail rods. And they're all good, they'll all get the job done. But I will say that the Graph Tech, I do like the action on the blank. The components and everything is about par with everybody else's entry-level rod, and which is more than adequate. You know, nothing really fancy or a big brand name on it, but all stuff that's going to hold up well.
Yeah.
But I will say that the action on those blanks is probably something that is more of a West Coast fast taper, a lot of power. So it's a great blank. They only offer it in one length, so if you wanted something that was different, you know, there's some limitations. Because it is an entry-level blank rod, they only offer it in one length. And it's not a bad length. I think it's 7'8", and it's a little bit on the longer side, but nowadays, you know, 7.5 foot is like a standard now, so 7'8" is right in line. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
So I put the over and under, and we'll ask Jason this question too. The over-under on bluefin tuna
Over.
for everybody. Oh, you heard it already?
Yeah, over.
25?
Easy.
Really?
On one boat. I'm sure. If they're going to get them, they're going to get them
What's the
good.
question?
The question is, bluefin tuna this weekend, any boats that go for bluefin tuna? So the Pegasus is supposed to go. Jacob, hope you guys get out. The Polaris Supreme is going to go. I put the over-under at 25. What do you say?
For total, all the boats.
Total?
Yeah.
Oh, it's over. for
Easy.
Sure. Easy.
Well, I mean, they could have some weather. They could. You never know.
The weather's gonna be
All of a
nice.
sudden, you're gun shy. Huh? All
No,
of a sudden, you're gun shy.
I'm over. I would be under on a single boat, yes. But on all the boats, over, for sure.
Put a comment up there and let us know if you're over or under. If you agree with this guy, or I haven't even
It
made
has
it.
to be over.
All right, David Jimenez, surface iron reel, Trinidad or accurate turn two.
You know, I'm a big Accurate fan. I really do. I fish a lot of their stuff, but I've fished that Trinidad 20 for so many years. It's hard to not make it something that's just so comfortable in my hand. At Trinidad 20 for me.
A personal preference,
Yeah.
you think, or
But that turn is a great reel. It does offer a cast control system that I think works really, really well. But it's just kind of what I've always used, and so that's my go-to. But yeah, that's a tough choice because I really do like Accurate reels.
All right, this is a good question. Chris Bailey. Chris, welcome to the show, my friend. Good to have you here. Good evening, Phil and Sam. As a FNG and private boater, Friedman, what is a FNG?
As a okay, where's
Oh, he's a private boater. What is the rule of thumb for sardines in a per gallon per water in a bait tank? How many sardines are in a scoop? I don't know. But
I'll tell you what I do.
go ahead.
I have a 37 and I can fit 2 scoops.
You got 37 gallon?
Yes.
And he
On my
fits
Grady-
2 scoops,
on my
Chris.
22 Grady.
All right, and they
I-
live fine.
They live fine. I usually do a scoop and a half every time, and I've never pushed it more because I haven't needed to. But I keep it at that, and if the bait's good, I don't lose hardly any.
37. He takes 2 scoops at the most, a scoop and a half.
Scoop and a
per
half is what I
gallon.
normally do.
Yeah, you don't want to take too much. I mean,
much.
you want to take as much bait as you can, but you do not want to have your bait roll on you.
Yeah.
Which is,
I'm,
go ahead.
I'm not a private boater. You know, I don't have my own boat. I've been on a few of them over the years, and I will say that typically the better bait receivers are a very good
Yeah,
judge.
They
of
are.
how much bait you should have in your.
that's very true. That's a
Ask
good.
them.
That's a good
Yeah,
thing to
so
say.
I would ask them, and they'll they want you to come back and they want you to have good bait, because if it's good to start but they overload it, they're gonna blame it. You're gonna blame it on the bait being no good. So they want you to go out and have good bait, and they're not gonna overload you, and they're gonna put as much as they
yeah,
can.
yeah.
'cause they
Without
wanna-
That's
with
a
that-
great insight.
I think
And
that's-
the bait receiver because they know how long it's been cured.
Yeah.
And they want to go lighter.
That's
if
another
it's not
thing.
cured as long.
Yep,
So maybe
yep.
take a scoop so it
the
doesn't
size of the
die.
bait maybe
Yep.
might determine it. You know, the shape of your bait tank. So, you know, I'm not gonna say those guys are like experts to where they have any scientific, but I think just from years and years of doing
Yeah,
it,
yeah, and especially a guy like Mike here at the
Yeah.
Sample, he's a super cool
those
guy.
guys are gonna know
He's
what
out-
to put in your tank.
He's
So
out to help you.
Yeah.
SoCal Steve, I bought a UC Terminator blank from you. Oh, expletive deleted. What'd you do to the poor guy? No, he
Blank,
must have been
yeah.
really
That's
enjoying
like
it.
it's accurate track.
Yeah, I'm kidding. Mike Trunk, lucky for us, Jason's agents let him work on the Amigo. Absolutely, man. David says, we share the same birthday, Phil. Happy birthday, David.
Today's your birthday?
23, no, March 23rd. I mentioned it to you, but you weren't
you?
listening to me.
What'd you say?
I mentioned that I'm going to be 65 on March 23rd.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, it's not. Yeah, and he said old fire. Hey, dude, we're going to have to party together, right?
Yep.
My partying is coffee, and that's about it.
You get a
But-
senior citizen discount. The whole
yeah,
deal,
man,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
all
dude.
ready to go.
ARP.
I've been
Yeah,
doing
baby.
that for years,
I
you
know.
know?
Milking it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's see. Isaac says, anyone use the FG knot? Any thoughts or tips on tying it?
Practice. You know, I've only
That's all knots, right?
Yeah, I've only tied it a few times. It is kind of a little bit of a somewhat complicated knot to learn, but just like anything else, once you learn it, you'll get it. But I will say, you know, when that knot first came out, it's been around for a long time, maybe 10 years at least, but I'm sure it's been longer than that. You know, it was kind of viewed as a over-the-top knot. It's just like, this is a crazy knot. No one's tying this thing. But it's persisted, and over the years, it's kind of become more and more popular, more and more popular. Now I see it on my long-range trips, guys tying it all the time. It's a very slim knot. It goes through the guides very, very easy. And once the guys know how to tie it that I've seen, they tie it real easy. You know, it doesn't seem to be too bad. But it takes practice. I think it's the way you hold the line. You're going to be able to tie it tighter and tighter with a lot less effort. But that might be one to try to maybe put a link up for some good videos. There's a ton of them out there on that knot, or maybe we can.
We can do it.
I'm not the very best at it.
I can do it.
But I can find somebody else that
I've been
is. So
using
yeah.
it for
Jason
slow
says
pitch.
he can do
It's
it.
a good
Use it for
knot.
slow pitch.
Yeah, that's where it kind of came from that
That's where I
world.
got it from.
So now that slow pitch is a normal thing out here on the West Coast, I see a lot of guys tying it. But even on the big game stuff, I've seen guys tie it for 200-pound yellowfin, you know, on these long range trips, and it holds up really, really well, and it's super slim.
Perfect. That sounds
Yeah.
good to me. All right,
there's
let's
the
see.
video.
We've got Daniel said, I sent you a video of Brantley mackerel. Okay.
All right.
Jonathan K. Great answer, Sam. Thank you. Very close to what I was thinking. Emilio Escobar, rumors of bluefin tuna down south, Ensenada. Yeah, that comes from Victor at Blackfin Sport Fishing. You may have heard some other stuff, Emilio. I'm super excited, man, because another guy who I will not mention, but he told me, oh, everybody's
no
telling me
way.
there's no bluefin this year, and it's, and you know, the Mexican seiners have not reached their quota, and
Well,
so
tell them I'll buy this tackle for half
Yeah,
price.
right.
There's no more fishing. Yeah. Might as well give it.
So
a
I
go.
started digging into it,
Yeah,
and the
no
Mexican
way.
seiners closed their season on January 17th after 16 days of fishing. And they were a little shy of the quota, so I don't know if that, but they decided, hey, we're a little shy. Let's not send a big boat out there to get this
Yeah.
little bit. Let's use a buffer for next year.
Yeah.
So that's all it was about. So yeah, there was tons of stuff. So that is really good news. AK Isaac says under. Oh, under. Yes, I know what he's talking about. Steve Nyes, the rain shadow blanks make a great rail rod. Sam put a hurting on one in the Batson booth level 5. Did you?
Yeah.
Was that fun?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
I saw everybody over there. You were the one who sent me over there.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool. But yeah. No, he's right. That rain shadow blank, they have a tuna blank series, RCTB, which is a rain shadow composite tuna blank. Very, very good blank. We saw a ton of them. There's a 2X and a 4X. The 2X is probably the most popular for what we're doing out here. A great 80, 100 pound blank. But yeah, that's a really, really good blank. We saw lots of them and haven't had any issues with them at all.
All right, very good. David Jimenez says, thanks, Chris Bailey, F and at and new guy. Oh, you get it now?
No, you'll see. I'm the next guy.
Oh. F and new guy. Oh,
That's what
I
FNG
like it. Fish guy, I like that, man. Jeff says, Sam, at what line class do you go to wind on leaders over knot connections? Very good question.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeff.
So wind down leaders, I would say you can probably use them down to 40 pound, but probably another thing he might be alluding to is just a hollow connection. You know, when you're going to go hollow versus tying your leader to your Spectra. But I personally will use it down to 40 pound as well. But I would say for most people, I would say 60 pound or 80 pound would probably be where it would be a good idea to go to that type of connection. The reason we go to that type of connection, and it's called a wind down leader, is that, you know, when you talk, it really had to do more with the old Marlin days when you would tie, let's say, 40 pound line, because that was your line class that you were fishing in a tournament.
Oh, right.
But the leader was
allowed you
200
to
pound or
yeah,
whatever, right?
Right.
Well, that 40 pound to the 200 pound made a big giant knot. Well, that couldn't hardly go through the guides. They actually had special guides just for those big knots.
Yeah.
Well, same thing with Spectra and your leader. You know, if you have 60 or 80 pound test, that knot's going to get bigger. So when you go to cast or when it's going through your guide, it's going to get, larger.
On there, yeah.
So I would say based on that, I mean, 60 pound test would be all right, but I personally go down to 40 pound on those, yeah.
Okay.
That type of connection.
All right, sounds good. Slammin' Sammy! Haven't seen you for a while, man. It's good to see you. Good evening, fellas. Your thoughts on the new Penn Fathom 2 speed? I was thinking of getting the 40N for the nighttime tuna fishing. Would it be too small?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
So what does that mean? A 200 pounder is gonna?
I mean, everything's got its limitations. So what I would say on that is that's a great reel. That 40 size reel has probably caught more fish over 100 pounds probably than any other reel made here. I mean, as far as this nighttime bluefin.
The Penn Fathom.
The Penn Fathom.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, just because so many boats use it as their rentals, so many landings use them as their rentals. So it just has been in more hands, and we've sold a ton of them.
And they're good reels, right?
And they're good reels, yeah. But there's some limitations to it for sure. I would say sometimes people are looking for something, well, what's the least I can get away with? And that would be, sometimes not the right way to approach it. I think that from a cost perspective, it's probably the most bang for the buck you can buy. And it'll land a 200 pound tuna. What you end up having as a byproduct, though, is that you may be on the fish longer.
Yeah.
So the fish isn't going to, the reel's not going to blow up or seize up on you where you could say, well, the reel didn't hold up, so that's why I didn't catch his fish. But because maybe you're on it longer and maybe someone tangled you or the fish got up on the rudder or something to where just because you were on it longer, you may have lost the fish. And that might have been produced by having a reel that's a little bit smaller. Now the new 40 narrow, which is the one we're talking about, one of the interesting parts about that, the new reel is that the gear ratios, they've changed on them. They've changed it to a lower low gear and a higher high gear, which is kind of nice actually. So you have that high gear if you wanted to really move a jig real quick. And when you do hook a fish, you have a lower low gear, so you have more torque. So that's going to cut down on your fight time a little bit. And so I think the new reel, the new 40 is pretty nice. But also as a side note, if you have an old reel already, an old 40, I wouldn't throw it in the trash or anything like that. It's still a very good reel. The one thing I have heard, and it was actually from Cal Sheets from Eric, was that you're able to take the gearing from the new reel and put it in the old reel. So if you wanted to attain that low gear that the new one does, you can do it. So you don't have to go buy a whole brand new reel. There is some, you got to take it apart, put it back together, and you got to buy some parts and stuff like that. So you may or may not want to even do that, or maybe you want to have two. The reels are so affordable as it is; they're like $330. That maybe going through all that trouble might not be worth it. But if you just wanted to hold on to that reel, you can actually modify it to be able to do what the new reel does.
That's
it's
great.
Pretty nice, yeah.
Okay, so those
the question is yes and no. I guess the answer. Yeah.
Right. What would you recommend if
so that would be a reel.
Came to shove?
That would be a reel that I would want to have in my arsenal. But if you were to say, okay, well, I just want to buy one reel to fight big tuna with. I mean,
or be prepared if a big one bites you.
You know, international 30, would be the reel that I would recommend. I know smaller reels have done it day in, day out. They do it, but we start catching those 300-pound tuna, you're just kind of putting yourself in a bad position. But this is without knowing what's coming this year, what kind of size fish we're going to be catching. The 40 will probably still catch 80% of what's going to be out there. But if we get those big fish, again, like we had a couple years ago, a bigger reel is definitely more recommended. The drags and everything about it is going to be smoother at a high drag setting. And you're basically going to be able to land a bigger fish faster. Now, when we're talking a big fish, let's say a 250-pound tuna, that maybe that 40 will be able to handle, but now you're on that thing for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Versus on the right gear, you might be on it for 1 hour. And that's that's
Makes
a big difference.
Huge difference, yeah.
So sometimes it isn't that the gear is going to run out. You'll probably run out of energy first,
Yeah.
But so I mean, that would be the one reel if I wanted to buy one. I would honestly want to have two. Because like I said, both of those reels will do a lot of what you need to do.
Yeah.
But or what some guys do is they'll buy the 40, and then when they get down to the landing in San Diego or even here, they'll rent a bigger outfit. Maybe they don't need it all the time.
Yeah.
But if I was going fishing this weekend, and on Thursday they caught, a whole bunch of big ones, I definitely would want to have a big reel on hand for sure.
Definitely. Chuck Zimmer has a great question, but before I get to his question, he was down here this weekend with his son Charlie, his daughter, Eddie Leland was here. And so I see Paul Strasser, and I start BSing with him, and he's got the Independence in here, and they're doing maintenance. And Strasser's like, come on, let's get on the Independence and fish. So he had all the kids on there, and Eddie was railing on the tomcod, which may not sound like much, but
awesome, yeah.
Yeah, he goes, just that bite, man, it brought me so much joy.
Yeah.
And so my thanks to Paul for making that happen, and that's the first time in my whole career that I've ever sponsored children and gotten them on a long range boat. They weren't catching wahoo, but
put that on your resume, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I took care of 4 kids fished on a long range boat, but they were all having a great time. So Chuck has a question, and it's a good one. What is the strongest number 4 hook when you're in a picky bite, but you're catching big fish?
Right. I think that the hook that you're going to go to, most people go to, is going to be the Owner Mutu. So we're talking about a circle hook. There are other size 4 hooks that are pretty strong. Gamakatsu makes a nice heavy-duty small hook. And Owner makes the Gorilla size 4 as well. But by and large, the hook that people are looking for, and the hook that he's probably looking for that everyone's out of stock on, but it's coming into stock here, I think, in the next couple of weeks, is the Owner Mutu size 4. So that's their circle hook, their regular circle hook. They have a hybrid and they have a light. No, those are 2 steps down. The Mutu is the original one. That size 4, that's probably going to be your strongest hook in a small size.
All right.
I would probably rate it up to about 40-pound test.
Uh-huh.
That's kind of how I would look at it. If you're fishing heavier than that, you probably want a bigger hook. But for 40-pound test, I think that hook would be good.
All right, perfect. Greg Bates wants to know, is Jason on the Apollo or the Amigo? He's on the Amigo. And he's also right here with us tonight, and it's great to have him here. He's got this thing working perfectly. He's got everybody hitting that like button. Don't forget to hit the like button. Sam cannot go home until we get at least 100 likes. And his kids are going to flip out. Diego and Luna are not going to like that. Do you want to say hi to? Are they? They're not watching. They're doing their homework, right?
They did their homework already.
So they're watching?
Yeah, I was talking to them on the way in.
Yeah.
And they did their homework. They just finished before I came in. So
hi, kids.
They're watching, hopefully. Diego, Luna, I love you.
Hey, kids. I don't know if your father's been able to do this yet, but I will take care of your passage on the Independence. Anytime you want to come down here, I'll get them on a long-range boat, Yeah.
How long are they down here for?
An hour.
No, the boat.
They're here for another, 2 weeks.
Nice.
Something like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I saw Paul this morning again.
Yeah, I know they used to do those,
afternoon.
They used to do those day-and-a-half, 2-day trips out
Yeah.
here. Man,
I know.
People would want to do that for sure.
They're
yeah.
so booked up now, though, that it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They don't even need it, so it's crazy.
Nah.
Albert Poltze, who's a fantastic guy. Do you know Albert?
Yeah.
No. Oh, you do.
Yeah, we met down at the kids trip down in.
That's right.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
ask you that every time he
Every
pops
single
up.
time.
I know.
When's your
Okay.
birthday again?
Yeah. Albert, good to hear from you. He says hi to everybody. Jason says, hit that like button, guys. Please hit that like button and send us more questions. Rockfish season starts in a few weeks. I know you have questions on rockfish. Give us a thumbs up. William says, happy birthday, 314 to Bill Woody Wood. Fish harder. He must have turned 60 years old.
There you go.
Lucky guy. He's a young guy. Emilio Escobar, last season, I used 65-pound braid and leader of 80-pound fluoro for those 100-pound bluefin. Such a great fight. You like that?
That's pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Some guys have been going to lighter spectra. And the sometimes that the fluoro or their leader size is kind of for abrasion because those, the tuna have a lot of teeth. And so normally you would go down on your leader size from your spectra size. So like 65, the max you would fish on it would be 50, with most common 40. If you were going to fish 80-pound, you would probably want to have a 100-pound spectra. But a lot of times guys are using it because they need more abrasion resistance. So even though I probably would use heavier spectra, I know a lot of guys are doing that also for bait presentation. The spectra's thinner, so the bait's able to pull a line through the water better. So yeah, it was nothing that I used to do before, but things are still changing. We always think we got it kind of wired. This is something else that guys are doing. I'm not going to say everybody this is what you should do, but I have seen a lot of customers that's kind of how they're rigging up their reels now.
Really?
Stepping down their spectra one size, yeah.
And it's successful for them.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be where all your connections have to be perfect, and your rod has to be able to be soft enough to absorb some of that because there is going to be shock. But yeah, there's been quite a few guys that have come through and they've changed their line from 80 to 65.
Danny Cadota, on every show he does, says if you're not learning something new when you walk on the boat, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
And so, you got to be ready to adopt.
And I'm fortunate too, at the shop we get so many guys that come through that are willing to share with me, like, something new that they're trying out. You know? So we get that all the time.
Yeah,
so that's pretty cool.
You remember the guys in Ensenada were using the Mad Max,
Yeah,
and you were telling me, and I'm like, oh, really? We got to do something on this. 10,000 views, Yeah, that was awesome. Good stuff. All right, let's see. Fish Guy. Sam, in my eyes, that was a great summation of the complexity of choosing the right size reel for the fish and the angler. This guy loves you, man. Yeah, I have to have you come in and write some of our scripts. Fish Guy, you're good. Let me tell you, 1911, Nate just got a Talica 16. Needs some advice online. Should I spool it with 80-pound braid or 65? Using it primarily for fly line for forkies and tuna, 40, 50, 60-pound leaders.
Yeah, typically people use 80 on that, but like I was saying earlier, guys do use 65. I think that 65 finesse thing is probably more of a picky bite, and maybe you would want to have another reel that's set up just for finesse fishing, but overall fishing, I think 80-pound for that reel would be appropriate.
Okay,
for Spectra.
Perfect. Christian Montalban is a great kid. In fact, he was here last week. I don't know if you saw it, but he's from Daiwa.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
Yeah,
cool.
he filled in for a kid that his father was a little sick. His father's fine right now. Jordan, I think it is. Anyway, good kid. Really, really nice. Enthusiastic about fishing. Loves to fish. And did a great job on all the Daiwa stuff. He says, hi, Phil. Excited for this year's season. Can't wait to get out and get some bluefin and yellowtail this season. By the way, Christian, I meant to call you, and I didn't call. So I was a bad boy. But the guy that bought Worm King fish, now have you met him?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, he bought Worm King. He swears to me, wait, was I supposed to give his name? I think I was supposed to keep this a secret, but it's out now. He showed me on his phone. He can go out, he swears, any day and go out and catch sablefish, black cod, which these guys would kill to go find that.
Yeah.
And so he shows me, and I go, whoa. So Christian just got an electric reel and wanted to come out and give it a try. So I had it set up for Sunday. I'm getting to the point of this diatribe here in a second. And fish got sick. And then he wasn't able to go. And I kept thinking about calling you, and I got so busy. And I throw myself at your mercy. I'm so very. Was that a good summation of why I screw things up? But
What are you
fish
talking
guy, I
about?
need him on here.
Started like 20 minutes
Yeah,
ago.
I don't know. Anyway, Christian, I think understands. All right, Jeff from 5 Slinger. Sam, have you got any information about old school surface iron called the Hustler?
I don't. I have a couple of those. I think, man, Randy Penny, that's a guy you got to get on this trip. I know we've talked about it.
He won't come on, will he? Or will he?
But,
Can we talk him into it?
I don't know.
Is he shy? Is that what it is?
Yeah, he's just not a
blowhard like you and me?
No, it's not. No.
Yeah.
Definitely not like me, yeah. But yeah, I have a couple of those myself. I honestly don't have that much info on it.
You have the Hustler jig?
Yeah,
I never
it's
heard
cool.
of it.
I just saw the name. I'm like, oh, that's a kind of a interesting name. I'm like, I want to get this. You know?
How old is it? Is it still going on? Are they
No. It's an old jig. It's a vintage jig. Yeah. Kind of like a. If I had to put it, maybe like a J-pot style, maybe a little fatter.
Yeah.
Like a Tatty C kind of size. But
I don't remember those floating around Redondo when I was a kid.
No. I never saw it until just recently, honestly. But I mean, it's an old jig. I think. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, I've never heard of it. But yeah, it's a cool sounding name. But somebody needs to pick that up. That's a pretty cool name.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
There's a casino called that, isn't there?
There's a boat, everything, yeah.
I know. New Hustler, yeah, exactly. Jason Lawler, he's sitting right there, but he's kind enough to ride it in the thing. What's your go-to outfit for rock fishing this season?
Yeah,
and are you excited about the rock fishing?
Yeah. I'm excited to see what this
Andy.
what this new depth is going to do. You know.
Now, how does that work? That's later in the year, right?
As far as I understand, it's later in the year. Yeah. I think up north, it starts in April.
Yeah.
But for down here, it's later in the year. I mean, so when we get into that, we'll have to see on the deep water stuff how deep we have to go for this sablefish that's easy to catch. That's probably the most common question I get is, do you know any sablefish spots? You know, I'm like,
see, I got it.
We'll have to see the black cod. Yeah, I mean, apparently it's like superior table fare, so we'll have to see. I think once people start getting a taste of it, maybe it'll get out. But from what I hear, once you find them, it's pretty easy fishing. But we'll have to see.
Don't you remember those things biting on the barge
Yes.
full speed? It was like one summer.
They
bit for
everywhere.
3 months.
Yeah.
Straight.
Full speed.
Thousands.
Yeah, like they were mackerel.
Yeah. But
that was it.
But this is like, who knows, because now that particular fish is like a delicacy in Japan, but during those days, they're oily, they taste like crap, but people didn't take care of their catch, and maybe that was the thing.
Yeah, you leave it in the gunny sack for 6 hours.
Right, especially on the barge. Yeah,
hot as hell.
Yeah, oh my God, it was just brutal. All right, Aaron. Hey, Phil and Sam, good evening. Sorry, I missed the Bass Pro show. Don't worry about it, Aaron. Wish you would have been there, but we'll be doing more stuff there. Incidentally, they've got free trout fishing this weekend. I know Saturday, I think Sunday also, at Bass Pro Shops out there in Rancho Cucamonga. They're going to fill the outside pond up with trout, take the kids, have some fun, give my 2 kids, Philip and Patrick, some heck out there. When you see them, they'll be volunteering and helping out there. So what days are you going to get to the Bart Hall show? You're going to be there every day, right?
Yeah.
Sam will be there every day. And I'm thinking about giving him a costume so he can put a mask on. He looks like me. Take a photo, and then I can say, I was there. I missed you. Man.
Yeah.
What happened? I'm not sure what days I'm going to be there, but I'll be there a lot because I want to back Bart up, and I love Sam, so I'll be there quite a bit. Christian, no worries if life gets busy. Next time when the weather looks better. All right, thank you, Christian. You're too kind. You should dig the knife in and twist it a little bit. JC, I guess he's got $4 for you. What's that all about?
No, S4. It's a car thing. Yeah, he works at a car dealership. We've been joking around to the inside joke.
Oh, inside? You don't want to talk about it on a family show? Is that what it is?
No, my wife's gonna figure out.
Oh, you're trying to buy a car?
No. This guy, man, you can't tell him nothing, man. Tell me more about this car.
Un nuevo carro por Sam.
Mucho
dinero, ¿verdad? Demasiado. Steve Nyes, no, Sam, has the gift of gab if he needs to. Yeah, that's what I say. Absolutely. Bob Osborne is in the house.
There you go.
Yeah. Now, if anybody has a single question about albacore, and Bob's observation, this comes from Bob Osborne. I haven't screwed up for the last 2 years. It's been Bob Osborne. I just parrot what he tells me. No, Bob is a fisheries expert. I don't know if he's had time to pore over the correlation between all this rain and an albacore run, because Tommy Holland said rain equals albacore. He was going to do that. You can ask him if you want. But Bob Osborne is here. So if you want to ask him a question, please do. This is your chance.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Do albacore breed or spawn on the west, or I guess it'd be the eastern Pacific, or do they only do it in the West Pacific? Just like other tuna, I guess, are known for, like bluefin are known for only spawning on the West Pacific. Even though it seems like now they've got to be spawning here at some point. There's so many of them, but I know that's one thing that sometimes we'll bring fish back to a certain area if they spawn there, kind of like salmon or something like that. I wonder if that's something he would know about, whether
he might. I think they're in the Central Pacific. That would be my guess. But
Central,
Bob, now you have some homework, and we don't have all night long, so please come up with an answer. And he does talk about, he talked to me a little bit about shifts in population too, how bluefin and other species will all of a sudden move, and they're not sure why that happens, but that bluefin wasn't here for many years, and then it's back. So the shifts in population. All right, we'll wait. Bob Osborne says Central Pacific.
Okay.
There it is. You wanted an answer, you got it. And feel free to elaborate, Bob, if you like to. And while you're elaborating, I'm going to go to Steve and ask Sam for a photo opportunity with a YouTube at the show. He tried to get a photo with you, or what?
That's Steve that works at the shop.
Oh.
Another inside
Steve.
joke, yeah.
Steve's watching. I love Steve.
Yeah,
He's a great guy. Steve, what's up? What? You're going to get yourself in trouble tonight, man.
No, it was a family who'd come to the shop, and not to the shop, to the show at Del Mar. So he talked him into like, oh man, Sam will take a picture with you, and so he had this big old setup, and he made a sign and the whole thing like that, making fun.
That's awesome.
It was cool. It was cool, but yeah, it was one that obviously the family was there. I wasn't gonna like tell him no, but Steve was just trying to get to embarrass me, basically, is what he was trying to do, which he succeeded.
Yeah. Fish Guy said he tried to watch the live show with Steve Carson, but it didn't load up, or I was too early. Yeah, it took a long time to load, Fish Guy. It just took forever. It wasn't live, though. It was recorded from Bass Pro. But there's that period where it premieres on YouTube, and then you can comment and talk to other people who are watching it. That's what you're talking about. But I forget, some other guy sent me Ruben Lopez said, hey, where's the show, man? It's scheduled for 7. It's like 7:30, and it's out of my hands at that point. It's YouTube. I blame them for that. Guess what I'm going to see this weekend? And I'm going to say hello for you.
Who's that?
Diego Nuno.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, in Ensenada?
Yeah, because
Nice.
we're getting, we've been sending piecemeal stuff to Mexico and taking care of a lot of people. And then I was going to we got a lot of stuff, Sam.
I've seen it. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's out of control.
Yeah.
So this guy, Enrique, has a trucking company. He's going to pick it up. There's a guy named Phil Capricio. And Phil said, why don't we load my yacht with stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So his people, he said, well, we're going to take a yacht. They filled his yacht. So now he's at the point where he can't go because the weather is screwed.
Yeah.
He's been trying to go. So we're going to move all his stuff over with our stuff, and then I'm sending it all to Cedros, I think. I'm just, they can use it.
For sure.
They went through the hard times.
Yeah.
There's poverty out there. And Diego, so I'm just going to go to Diego and say, because we were going to ship it to Diego's house, and then I was going to do some Tijuana and some. It's just, I'm going to ship it straight down to wherever it is Diego tells me to. A boat's going to come from Cedros, big boat, pick it up, take it out, and then maybe I'll go down and distribute.
Yeah.
Maybe you could come with me.
I'd love to.
If we get a chance.
If it works out, yeah.
That would be fun. I love that whole Santa Claus thing. That's always fun. Bob Osborne, you have another question here. Jeff from the 540 Slinger Club wants to know what the hell an albacore is. Yeah, a lot of people want to know that, right?
With long fins.
Man, I'm telling you, you say long fins, there's nothing more regal than those things like gliding, right? How do I look doing this? It's kind of weird.
Just like an albacore.
The brain
water,
one, too.
Or Dorado, one of the two.
They're so bitchin'. When you look down in that purple water, you can see them 40 feet down, and they're just gliding. They're so cool. And those big eyes. They're really, really cool. Some guy told me he fished Oaxaca, and I'm off on another thing here, but he was catching Dorado, and the Mexican kid, he was like 15, he said, really young kid. Dorado hits the deck, and it's tearing everything up, and he throws a black towel over the fish's eye.
Yeah.
That was it.
Puts them to sleep.
Yeah, I remember putting my eye on
Yeah,
albacore eyes or big tuna, and that would calm them down. So maybe, I don't know. I've never tried that with the Dorado.
Try it.
I'm definitely going to try it. Yeah, oh man, we got tons of questions. Here we go. Fish guy. Okay, Osborne. Hey, Osborne is all over this. How does the Humboldt Current and California Current affect the cold versus warm water lines? What a great question. And his answer is down below. But Jason, can you tool me up a little bit, and then we'll go back up?
Yeah, go up a little bit right to...
No.
or go down more?
Yeah, I think so. There's Osborne.
Right there.
The Humboldt, California Current runs north to south, brings cool water to the Southland. We got to get Osborne down here, don't we?
He said
pretty good.
say it again, 2 down the bottom.
No, and here's Bob again. Thank you, Jason. There's a counter current that works like a side water gyre in a stream on river that pulls warmer water up to the bite side to the bite from below the border. So we end up with warm water close to the shore and cooler water offshore. Excellent. We got to get him in here.
Makes sense.
All right. Let's see.
All right.
Jason Law, is that, or, yeah, what's
I'm
in?
going to go right to here. Right here.
Okay, perfect. Aaron wants to know, what would you spool a Makyra 15T2 with?
80 pound as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
80 pound braid. Yeah, pretty much to the top. 80, but you're good about 450 yards.
All right.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Let's see. Steve wants to know only after 4 days. I can't read it anymore. But Sam has great to take one with
yeah.
with a little girl. Yes.
It was great. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
was
was
it?
good. That's what he was talking about.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
That was cool.
Jason wants to know, what items would you bring on a multi-day trip to make your trip more enjoyable?
Wow. Well, probably depends on how long of a trip, I guess. If it's going to be like a really long trip, whatever you enjoy doing. I mean, a lot of guys you'll see take like a device, like an iPad or something like that. You might have some stuff on there, but
All right, is that what you're talking about? That kind of stuff?
Long
Everything.
trip?
To being a long trip, to being where you're just sleeping overnight on the boat, what to bring.
He's trying to figure out what he has to bring as a galley guy.
Almost, but I want to tell people, like,
Yeah.
do you bring a blow-up mattress? Do you know,
No,
nobody
yeah.
brings that, but what other? A nice pillow is always, like, I ask people,
Yeah.
pillow's a big thing.
pillows is a big one
Bring
too.
a good
Yeah.
blanket, because you never know if the AC is too strong or
Yeah.
wind, that thing, so.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much now. Before we used to never bring anything. I mean, I still kind of don't bring too much, but now that we've gotten used to bringing some stuff on a lot of boats, and we had to for a while, is a good pillow. For me, I just bring like a lightweight blanket,
Yeah.
But I'll even bring bedding, like the real small or like a twin bedding or whatever. It usually will cover you.
Because it makes it that much more enjoyable and comfortable?
Well, just you never know. I mean, every boat's different. Some
Yeah.
of them will the plastic, cushions, they're kind of real sticky and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So kind of like hard to, shift if you have to kind of like get comfortable or whatever. So sometimes that makes it easier.
Yeah.
That's
But-
the other part of the trip,
Yeah.
part of it's fishing, part of it is your get the sleep, get the food,
Yeah.
so a lot of
Get
people
comfortable.
don't ask those questions. It's all about fishing all
That's
the
true.
time.
That's a good
What
point.
about to bring a blanket? Now we always got to bring a blanket and a pillow. Like you said,
Yeah.
we never brought nothing because we never had to. Now it's what can we
I-
bring? There's
I still
everything
don't-
on the market.
All
I don't bring anything. I take my jacket off,
Yeah.
use it as my pillow.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
noise canceling headphones. Like I'm gonna get those so I can
Yeah.
sleep while the deck's going off. Like those kind
Yeah.
of things could help.
One thing I would say that I have seen people do that I thought was pretty smart is, they sell all this kind of like packable camping stuff.
Yeah.
Because now you're having to bring all that stuff. So they have blankets that fold like this.
Oh,
small.
see, that's cool. I might be able to do that.
Maybe
I
not
don't want
this
to
little,
haul
but-
all this crap.
But yeah, it's about that size, and it's
That
a pretty
makes sense.
good blanket.
Yeah.
I have a towel that I got. It's one of those like chamois type towels that folds up like really small. At first, I was like, "This ain't gonna work," Kind of
worked great.
Kind of a big guy,
Yeah.
I can't believe how good it worked, So
Yep.
there's all kinds of products out there like that
That's
that
what I
are,
mean.
that are
It's
good.
smaller stuff. Like I brought a blanket that goes small. I brought
Yeah.
a pillow
I'm into
that goes
that.
Small, like
Yeah.
hiking type of stuff. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, Patrick had all that stuff when he was backpacking. So
Right.
yeah,
They sell that stuff.
Yeah. All right. Israel De La Cruz, one of my favorite people on the face of the earth. Israel, hope you're doing well, my friend. Hey, Phil, what's the update on the El Patron? So they've got that thing looking so good, Israel. Now, so they are too late to go down and fish the Puerto Vallarta season.
Oh, really?
If I'm getting this wrong. So I think they're going to run out of here or maybe somewhere else. Maybe San Diego here. They're talking about maybe somewhere else. So they're definitely going to be fishing SoCal and then go down for next year's Puerto Vallarta bite. So should be great. The boat looks beautiful.
Wow.
I need to talk to Ricky Carbajal or Chris and set up a charter with them. I'm going to do that here pretty soon. So
That's a 50-foot Delta, right?
yeah,
Wow, yeah, those are awesome boats.
it's beautiful, man. And
Yeah.
they just redid the whole thing. They put a
Yeah.
lot of money into it.
I can see that getting chartered quick.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Deck is badass.
Yeah, absolutely. Chuck Zimmer, do you guys know any pongas down in Puerto Nuevo? I don't know anybody out of Puerto Nuevo. I know some guys out of Popotla. There's a little place called Popotla. It was right near Rosarito. There's a commercial fleet there, and those guys will take you out, and they're really good. But Ensenada's not that much further down down the road. You know, another hour from there. Not even, I don't think.
Not even, yeah.
Yeah, not even. And you know, you got Blackfin, you got Arnie, guys that we know. You got Diego Nuno with Costa Baja. You got a myriad of other guys. And some of the other guys I haven't met yet, but I see other people fishing with them. They seem to be really happy with the results. So there's a ton of stuff, Chuck. And besides, when you're down with me filming with the drone this weekend, we'll be able to go out and venture out and check into that for you. I want to make sure we do that. Fish Guy, Bob, do you know if they tagged albies and verified the cross migration from the Western Pacific Japan fish to the Eastern Pacific U.S. fish? Are they the same schools? These guys, Fish Guy asks way better questions than I come
Way
up with.
better.
You both, you guys.
Yeah.
Wait, you're not supposed to agree so fast. Osborne says the humble. Okay, we got that. Let's see. Bob Osborne. So we end up with okay. He hasn't answered that guy's question yet. Osborne, you need to get on that
Maybe he
one.
doesn't know the answer.
Yeah, really. He's taking off.
stalling.
He's Googling it. Jagger, thoughts on the Akuma Solterra 22?
You know, I don't know that much about that reel. I think it's kind of a lower end 2-speed reel, maybe even one with the level wind or something like that. So I don't really think it's really set up for our big tuna that we're talking about on this show. So at this point, I probably wouldn't recommend it. I just haven't had any experience with it or even know any customers that have.
Dan Smith, Bob, is that why Osborne, man, you're the hero
hot,
of
man,
this.
yeah.
Yeah, you're hot. We can just, you want to go out and talk to
Yeah,
Tony for a
yeah.
little while? And you can read the questions to him, Jason. Bob, is that why some years the elephant and skipjack will be inside like the 9 and the 43, and the albacore would be out around the 60 in that cooler water? So we'll wait for Bob to answer that. Oh, he did, maybe. Let's see.
Yes.
Well, Bob's got some answers. So for albacore, it's the young fish that migrate into our waters. They can end up just about anywhere in the North Pacific, preferring the cooler water. Migratory paths are not well known, but fish tagged here have been caught near Japan.
Oh, that's awesome.
Great answers. Man, how do you like this? The kind of people I associate with, well, maybe not everybody, but
No.
they are fountains of knowledge. Osborne, you're making the Friedman Adventures family so happy tonight. 45 likes, 92 people watching.
Nice.
This thing is blowing up. Sam De La Torre, I love it.
We're at the top right now on people watching.
Yeah, we are
92.
cranking, everybody. Hit that like button. Thank you so very, very much. All right. And Dan Smith. Yeah, I remember years in San Diego where they would say, you want to go down the beach and catch
Yeah.
yellows and yellowfin tuna, or you want to go out there and catch albacore? And
Yeah,
you'd
yeah.
go like, well, the weather out there sucks.
Yeah.
Maybe we will go down the beach. But some of those years, those yellows were small, and we're like, no, man, let's go albacore
yeah.
fishing. So, yeah,
Most
I
of the
think
time was albacore.
Yeah.
Most of the time, yeah.
yeah. Would you like to say albies back? Of course you would, right?
Yeah.
Some people make it like it's a binary kind of thing, like it's albacore or bluefin. It could be both.
Could be.
Yeah,
Could be.
used to be.
It made me feel like I was fishing
They
with
didn't-
my father.
They didn't bite like
No.
the bluefin didn't bite
No,
like
yeah,
they do
yeah.
now.
Well, I think part of it too is, as far as the binary thing is, I think people, and maybe Bob would know, and maybe not. I mean, it's probably impossible to know, but I think whatever brings the albacore may also produce whatever conditions make the bluefin go away.
Maybe,
So
yeah. The
it's-
people would
yeah.
be pissed if they show up like
Yeah.
I had something to do with it.
Yeah, it's your fault, man.
Oh, it's Osborne's fault. I'm
You're the one
telling
that
you.
predicted it.
He's hiding behind his. He's at home right now, hiding. Eric Huizar. Man, I mentioned a guy, the black towel that got thrown over the Dorado. This is Eric, and
the
he's
guy.
a lovely
He's
guy.
a good guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Eric, good to see you, man. Hi, Phil. That was me, Eric from Inland Saltwater Anglers Club in Oaxaca. Yeah, he was the guy in Oaxaca. In fact, Eric, I screwed up this too. There's a big tournament going on down there at Puerto Escondido this weekend. I still have time. It's only Tuesday. And somebody reached out to me from that and wanted me to promote it a little bit, which I'm happy to do because I thought of you and the positive experience you had down there. And man, fishing Oaxaca? Are you kidding me? I would be all over that. What an adventure, huh?
You going?
I can't this weekend, but I would go down there. I mean, as a kid, I lived down in Acapulco, so I went down there to Puerto Escondido, and it was nothing.
Hop, skip, and a jump.
I know, man. I'm ready to go. So, hey, Eric, we'll have to talk about that. Anthony Amalfitano. I haven't seen him around here for way too long. A chair to sit on the deck.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to do that?
Depends on the boat. I was going
Right.
to say, that's really cool if the boat's big enough and it allows it. Multi-day trips, usually you're done fishing after dinner. You have a chair out there. It is kind of cool. But depends on the size of the boat. A lot of boats don't have that kind of room. But if you have the room, that is kind of cool.
Camping chair, the little 3-prong.
Yeah, something, is nice. Yeah, they make all these kind of compact chairs now too, but you just don't have the room to have people sitting back there sometimes.
Yeah.
And with, this nighttime bluefin fishing, there is no downtime anymore,
I know.
At times.
Yeah.
But like I said, if the trip allows and the boat's big enough, I definitely think that is, a lot of guys are going to be jealous if you're the only one that has it, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean,
Share it.
Yeah.
it seems like for a hardcore fisherman, like we used to be, maybe not, I mean, I used to be like, chair, no, but man, I swear to God, when I see one now and I sit on it for a while, it's like, whoa, this is freaking awesome. Maybe it's an old man's thing, huh? Who knows? All right, let's see. Hey, who just threw us $19 up there? Is that someone else?
Isaac.
That might be a little bit below where I'm at. Hang on.
Oh, no, that's okay.
Isaac.
We'll get to him in a
Scroll
second.
down a little bit.
It's Isaac.
Isaac, thank you so
Of course,
much.
Isaac, always.
$20, man. Thank you, Isaac. We deeply appreciate it. You Patreon members are the heart and soul of Friedman Adventures. We can't do it without you, and this kind of generosity we deeply, deeply appreciate. All right, let's go now to Gary. I met Sal last weekend at his shops. So
Sam, probably, yeah.
Oh, Sam. Yeah. Did it say
Maybe
Sam?
Sal. Talking about somebody else.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Sam, what is your go-to bait, rod, and reel setup for albacore? Asking for my friend Phil. Dan, don't be shy. Just come out with it, man. Come out. You believe in albacore. They're coming back. Osborne, I saw him today, and he goes, we're going to get albacore this year. And I
said
go, yeah, he did. And I go,
Did he say it last year?
yeah.
Oh.
He said it the year before,
Okay.
too. You're screwed, Bob. He doesn't believe you. What's your go-to? What would you fish albie with?
Well, we haven't caught one in a while. But
Line line and
Penn Jigmaster 500?
yeah. That Saltiga 20 probably would be the one I'd start with. But, I wouldn't leave out all those bait casters that we've sold the last 5-6 years. That'd probably be a good one, too. Going to depend on the bait size. But that Saltiga 20 would be good on a 8 or 9 foot, United Composites or something rated at 15 to 25. Yeah. The Alexa 400 is going to be a popular reel for that.
Dave Maestro, one of the nicest
Dave, how you
guys.
doing,
I've
buddy?
seen him at your shop many times. He was on one of our Amigo trips. Dave, I met him over at Gallagher Staging, brought tons of clothing down. Dave, good to see you here.
we're
And
trying to date Bob or what?
I don't know. Yeah,
Like
really.
I said, look at this.
Oh, albacore. Yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you. I was going over that. Bob Osborne. When I first caught albacore was in the 1950s in the San Pedro Channel, or Pedro, as people admonish me to say all the time. But they are seldom seen there since. Remember when they had those fish in the channel, those 90-pounders?
I heard about them. I didn't fish them, but yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
What were you doing in those days?
I was probably in junior high.
Oh, shoot. When was that?
It was in the, I don't know, 30s.
I don't know. It was a long time ago. Yeah, I don't have any videos.
Mid
that
80s,
to
I think.
post.
Mid 80s.
Yeah, that was really cool. All right, let's see. Daniel caught an albacore a long time ago on board the Seahawk. Steve Bermudez. Oh no, albacore talk. Don't you know they were all taken away by the alien spaceships? Yeah, I thought you were taken away, Steve.
Tuna.
Yeah. No. Okay. Chris Bailey, thanks for all the knowledge being shared. Chris, thanks for being here. My friend, we really appreciate it. Israel, any chance the Humboldt squid fishing would come back in the near future? People
hope
hate
not.
people
We hope
hate
not.
the
We
Humboldt
hope
squid.
fucking not.
I don't hate them. They're
I
God's little creature.
Yeah, what are they going to eat now? All the
Us.
sable fish.
What do they call them down in Mexico? Diablos, right?
Diablo
Or-
Rojas.
Yeah.
Yeah, Diablos Rojas
The
or
devil,
algo
red
así.
devil.
Yeah. You don't like them?
I'll eat them, but they eat everything.
You
Yeah.
think so? The thing is that people
Yeah,
say they eat everything inside, right? Yeah,
they do.
yeah, I know.
As far as I
They'll
know.
eat you
Well,
and themselves.
if I got this right, and maybe Osborne could help me here, I think their lifespan is a year, maybe
Is it?
2 at the most,
I don't know.
and they get to 90 pounds.
That's
So how
crazy.
much?
They got to eat a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean Dorado too. I mean, but they don't get like well, some do, but they're like 3 years on a Dorado. But yeah, those squid, man, they got to just keep
Yeah.
mowing down whatever it is they're eating, right? And that's everything, right?
Yeah, I
Squid.
remember one time I was fishing-
sand bass, everything.
Fishing rock cod down there on one of those pongas down there and in Camaloo, and we were catching rock cod and everything, and then we started getting those Humboldts, right? So we threw one on because the captain said, they got a recipe at the hotel. They'll cook it up for you. So okay, cool. Brought it on. I don't know what he did to it, try to dispatch it or whatever, but we had it on, in the ponga, and no lie, that thing was on there for about a half an hour. And a half hour later, that thing was still reaching out. It grabbed its tentacles over one of the seats.
Oh God!
Grabbed a freaking rock cod, brought it back.
It was eating it?
Munching on it. You could hear it cracking. I was like,
That's awesome.
freaking crazy. And that thing's like been on the boat for a half an hour.
Yeah, oh my
So,
God!
yeah,
those
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 things
are
are
like from a
relentless.
science fiction
It is,
movie,
it is,
right?
yeah.
They're really weird creatures. Yeah.
1,000 leagues under the sea.
Oh
It
my
is.
God, that is cool stuff. Isaac says he hasn't caught an albacore with this bluefin and Dorado fishing. I'll take that. So yeah, it's not a binary choice. It's you can have all of that. I hope.
I hope. Yeah, I hope.
Isaac, you're gonna love albacore, man. They are cool. Bob Osborne. Often the albies will be outside and the elephant and skipjack on the inside. But I remember lots of times in the 1960s. Man, this guy has history of
OG.
with albacore and yellowfin schools in the same areas, mostly off of Ensenada up to the 43 fathom spot. Yeah, I remember those days also. Anthony Amalfitano. Hey, Sam, Jason, and I are thinking about jumping on the Old Glory on the 26th coming up soon. Do you think it's a yo-yo only or 120 to 200 gram knife jigs may work?
I think right now, I mean, everything's pointing to this bluefin
Yeah.
right now. I guess these boats are going out this weekend, as you were talking about
Yeah,
earlier.
Polaris
so-
Supreme, hopefully the Pegasus.
Yeah, so I think we'll get our first indication of whether that fish is going to bite or
The
not.
over and under is
Yeah.
25.
Yeah, so
And you're
to
over.
me, I would
What
think,
would you put the over and under at?
50.
He says
No,
for-
no.
you're going to say 100.
35.
aren't
Yeah, 100.
You are?
Yeah.
100? Okay, I'll
You
say
think they're going to
50 for
wail
sure.
on them, huh?
Yeah.
Really? I
Well-
hope you're right.
Now we're talking like total all the boats.
Yeah, but I mean, how many guys are going to get out? I mean, you got Day at the docks.
Still got to get out. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess so. That's another part of it.
Because
too.
there's been no fish
Yeah.
caught, so it's hard
Yeah.
to get people to go.
Right.
Yeah.
It might only be one boat that gets out.
Right. Might be the Polaris Supreme.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I put it at 25.
25 is a good number only because if one boat gets out, but
Right.
maybe about 25 per boat. So if 4 boats get out, it'd be 100.
All right, there you have it, right there, man. All right, okay. And once again, Isaac, thank you so very much. Really appreciate it. All right, Eric says, yeah, I've been seeing the guys' pictures from the tournaments down there right now. Sounds good. I'm going back on April 24th to May 5th. Man, I would love to go with him.
There you
'cause
go.
super cool guy. Eric, keep me in mind. Who knows? My whole schedule is just a mess all the time. Anthony Malfitano, $10 bill. Sam, we're going out for pizza tonight.
yeah.
It's on Jason. Yeah, I'm keeping the money these guys send in. Thank you so much. It's deeply, deeply appreciated. Charles Zimmer, did the bluefin and albacore hang together back in the day? Absolutely. I will defer to Bob Osborne, but I can remember, man, frickin' as a kid, you look out and you're going like, oh my God, look at that. And there's just white water and just fish up. And you go, hey, Captain. You're real shy about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Hey, Captain. Ah, the bluefin. They don't bite. And that was always the thing. We're looking for albies. And so, yeah, they were mixed up. And once in a while, you get a bite on them. We had an exceptional bite on the Conquest with Joe Chait once where we had 60 to 80 pound bluefin chewing big time.
Nice.
And so, yeah, that was fun. So,
Hey, Isaac had a thing about the chair, and then we'll go through that about
oh, I'm sorry. Only thing on the chair, put it up out of the way when the bite is going on. That's
Yeah.
that's a good.
Definitely.
That's a good one.
Alphatano, the same shit.
And Anthony, yeah, only on a 2-day trips move more on the seat. But I like chilling on deck on a long run home from Cortez. Me
Yeah,
too.
that is
It's kind of
pretty
a
awesome.
shame to go down the bunk room when you got that view. But
Yeah.
geez, your knees start like.
That's what he's saying. That chair, that's
Yeah.
another thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Long ride home.
I think he's absolutely right. Let's see. Bob Osborne caught albacore and bluefin mixed in the late '90s and early knots.
Yeah. 2000s.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. School teacher doesn't know anything.
As soon as I read out, this guy's, I don't know what it is.
All right, Bob, don't go anywhere. You're making this show so great. David, REI has great tiny chairs that I have taken on multiple 2-day trips.
Yeah.
Lifesaver. David, that is great. That's what you were talking about, right?
This little, right?
Yeah, I think they do, though, right? They do fold up really
Like
small.
this. I got one that goes with this.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty
I'm
cool.
telling you, man. Yeah, I think I saw you bring it out once, didn't you?
It fits my tackle box.
That's
It
small.
fits my tackle barn.
If
Yeah.
it's that small, it would.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I got to get one of those for sure. All right, thank you very much, David. And David Maestro, what is your go-to stealth daytime rig for local BFT 100 to 200 pounders?
Wow. I'd say that 80 Raptor from United Composites is a good one. Probably with a 15T Makira or a 12 International. And that or an 800 XXH CalStar. Yeah, either of those two rods, either of those two reels.
All right, perfect. Bob Osborne used to work for Steve Giffen on the Holiday. He worked for him for many, many years. So
He sees some stuff, yeah.
yeah, he has definitely. Fish Guy, Sam and Phil. What is the most unusual or uncommon item you take in your tackle box that helps you put fish in the box that most people forget to take or are unaware of? Thanks for the great show. That is a fabulous question.
I'll have to think about that. I don't know.
Yeah, I take Bengay.
Unusual.
That's perfect. Aspirin.
Yeah. No, but he's talking about catching fish.
Catching
Something
fish,
that,
yeah.
Sleep well.
That's a good question.
Yeah,
Stay up long.
being prepared, really, it's so hard to kind of like just say that, but I can't think of one thing that's like, oh, you know what, if you take this, you're going to catch more fish. I don't really see it that way. I mean, really, it's...
How about like those lights that you use at night or something like that? Do you wear those things?
No.
I wouldn't either. They look goofy, don't they? No, they're all right.
Yeah, I mean, at night sometimes it's hard to see, I guess. Yeah, some boats too, they don't have too many lights or whatever, but I don't know.
Hey, Bluefin at midnight and 2 in the morning. I have the one just so I could see the line coming out, so I know how deep I am. That's all.
That's true. That's true.
Well, there's one thing right there, I guess. They do sell those line counters. Berkeley sells them, and you can put them on your reel to mark your line. Maybe that might be one thing to help you mark your line. I think a lot of the boats have them now.
Yeah.
To help people do that, but maybe you could have that. I'm sure I'll think of something.
Good question, Fish Guy. We'll have to figure that out. All
I
right.
saw this one by Joe that we didn't say.
Oh, I'm sorry, Joe. Sorry about that. The
I haven't
Humboldt
seen his name before, so it's like, hey, we got.
The Humboldt squid are great for chunking for yellowfin tuna. Caught several chunking squid. Yeah.
I know that's a big deal down in Baja and Cabo. Yeah,
Yep.
they use those. Yeah, but I don't know why it wouldn't work here. But
It probably would.
I don't know if we ever get the tuna like this and the squid in the same time. Not that I remember back then. It seemed like when we were getting that Humboldt, we weren't getting much else.
I got some old videos of those stupid things too. I have to find that, man.
Heck yeah,
They're
squirts.
fun to catch.
Yeah,
I know,
Yeah,
but they
yeah.
ruin the environment and everything
Yeah,
else. So
yeah.
I get that.
No, I do remember. It reminds me of my father catching a few going out of San Diego, going to Colonette, and reeling those things in. It
Yeah.
was a lot of fun.
Yeah, they're crazy, man.
pull hard.
Yeah.
DJB, get ready for sticker shock on CalStars. They have kept price reasonable in the past, but I've seen they're going close to $500 now.
Supply and demand.
Yeah, I mean, so one of the things that CalStar had going on is that, like he's saying, they didn't do a lot of price increases for probably like 3 or 4 years, and it's pretty common every year. Prices go up some percentage.
Yeah.
Usually it's a small amount, 3 to 5% depending. And so they basically had, I mean, it was probably 4 years worth of increases that they hadn't covered. So we kind of all got it in one year. And so it was a little bit of a sticker shock, and I think guys have, looked at those and been like, man, that's a lot of money for a rod. I just bought the same rod last year for X amount of money. But I mean, that's just what good stuff costs now. I mean, it's one of those things that I think we didn't realize what a bargain we were getting. They just weren't making the right amount of money for them because their costs have gone up so much. Material costs have gone up, labor costs have gone up. So anybody who has a small business, they know, and they're a small business, so sometimes it takes them a little while to adjust, but that is kind of the reality of what they're dealing with. Yeah, exactly.
And inflation now, suppose that's going to prices, right?
Right. So, I mean, it is pricey for some of that stuff, but it's still a number one high quality, best you can get type of product, So, for some guys that shop around for the best fluorocarbon and the best hooks and the best jigs, I mean, now the surface iron, used to cost $6-7, Now it's $16 for like your most economical one. With guys buying a lot of jigs, those like CNC jigs, $40 for a jig. So in comparison, as far as just the inflation and how things have gone up, it's about par really.
Yeah.
From what I see, what we pay for stuff now.
Sam De La Torre from Island Fishing Tackle is here with us. Jason Lawler, who's the new chef on board the Amigo, is running the board tonight. Great to have him here. Sam, it's always good to see you. And Bob Osborne is lurking out there behind his computer. If you have a question about albacore, you want him to tell you whether somebody should ask him. I'll ask him. Are we going to catch albacore this year, Bob? I want your honest answer. I want you to tell these people about these long-finned little devils coming this way. Well,
I'm going to charter the Amigo, and we're going up north.
We're going albacore busy. All right, do you remember when the Bluefin that made it to Newport Harbor? I was 12 or 13 years old and seen some at Davy Locker's dock. I don't remember that. I do remember like Dorado being in the harbor. I remember James Tawney gaffed like a 100-pound yellowfin tuna at berth 55 on the Tornado maybe or some boat. Remember that?
Yeah.
I remember when
that being filmed. Yeah.
I remember when Sean Morgan called me one morning, and he goes, "Guess what? Some guy just caught a debate receiver." And I'm like, "I don't know."
What?
And he goes, "Well, guess." And I go, "A salmon." And he goes, "A wahoo." And I go, "Yeah, F you." And he goes, "I got video of it." And I go, "Really?" And
there it is. Yeah.
Guy caught a wahoo at the bait receiver in the frickin' winter time. It was 60 degree, not even 60 degree water. And he had the video.
Harbor. Yep.
He had it on a gaff wiggling and everything else, man. So, I mean, it's hard. I don't know how that happened, man. That was crazy. Manny Perez. Manny, great to have you here with us tonight. Going on the Pacifica, late April 28th. Weather looks like it might be better. Hopefully this weather, we can hear. We leave the doors open here. It's pouring out there, it sounds like, right?
It's pouring. I'm looking at it.
Yeah, Jason's looking. Manny, best of luck to you. I hope you get some good weather and those bluefin really bite for you. Anthony's back. They were advertising going down the coast of Baja, but not sure if we're going to go for bluefin or not. Yeah, so that could be a Collinette trip. It could be anything.
I'm probably going to be on that trip.
A lot of what's going to happen in the future is going to be determined this weekend.
Yeah. Well, at least the first taste of it,
Yeah, we'll right. If they wail on the bluefin, then everybody's...
Can't see any reason not to go there,
right.
Yeah.
If they don't get them, then plan B,
They'll catch at least 26.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I didn't say under. I didn't say... You said over. Okay. Dan Smith. Anthony, Kim makes me sit on a 5-gallon bucket. She is mean. That's not bad, though. Have you ever sat on a bucket? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, right?
Jump up here to Dave. Dave Jimenez.
I'm sorry. Dave says, is a Talica, thank you, Jason. Is a Talica 16 good for sinker rig? And what size braid and fluoro should I use? David, great question. Thank you, Jason, for not letting me skip by.
Probably 80-pound braid and either a 60 or 80-pound leader. And yeah, it'll work. It's got enough line on there. It's probably not my number one go-to for that specific situation, but yeah, you got enough line, you got enough drag. That's a nice reel.
All right, Kim, give Dan like a colorful 5-gallon bucket. Make it cute or something like that. The Knox. I asked my dad, where did the albacore go 2 years ago? He was catching them when I was young. Everybody wants to know that, and Bob Osborne has the answer. These fish populations move, and it's mostly, I think, due to oceanography.
Yeah.
Albacore like cooler water, and we haven't had a lot of cool water for a while. I mean, look at it. We had wall-to-wall Dorado here.
We really don't know, honestly. I mean, I
guess
we have some, guys that study it, and that's what they do. And then there's certain things that you can say, well, it's this or that, and we attribute it. But I mean, they just move around, and they shift around. I mean, I remember I was on a 7-day trip one year in June, or an 8-day trip, and we were catching yellowfin for kelp patty, nice yellowfin, like 40, 50 pounders.
Uh-huh.
And we were drifting away. We were pretty much done for the trip. We were like last day before we were coming back. And we were about 300 yards away from that kelp patty. Two guys were still fishing out there, just kind of like, it was the last baits for the trip or whatever.
Yeah.
Full speed albacore.
Oh my God.
June, middle of the ocean, and we were just catching yellowfin. And it was warm water.
Oh, shoot.
So,
yeah.
I mean, those things.
It's enigmatic. You have no idea, right?
That's why we love fishing. I mean, that's one of the things. We talk about all this cool stuff about fish showing up here, showing up there. You go fishing often enough, you just see some pretty cool stuff, and it's awesome.
The mystery of it all, right? Yeah. It really is. There's no question about it. Did I miss David Jimenez or Manny Perez?
Yes.
Manny, Talica 20, the 25 would be a good one too.
Yeah.
Says Manny. All right, let's see. William says the bait shaker.
Right.
Jagger says thoughts on time of year to plan a longer trip with the El Nino predicted in late summer, early fall, August, September, October, November. Well, first of all, he's absolutely right. There is an El Nino brewing. It seems to be a pretty big one down there around the equator, but he's also right that it's not going to affect us until summer. And we have had albacore in El Nino years, as you just pointed out. So what do you think? It sounds like...
Let me go back up one to William there. I think he's bait shaker. He's talking about something you might want on a trip.
Yeah.
I think that'd be on a longer trip maybe for if you had to make bait.
Yeah.
To be able to...
That's good. That's a good one.
Take bait off your sabiki. So it's a little device you use to take bait off your sabiki.
Oh,
yeah.
A hook like we normally use.
Yeah.
Like a butter knife?
Yep.
No, a hook like this. You go.
Oh, right. Yeah. It's super, super convenient when you have it, right?
Yeah. So as far as a longer trip, typically, different times of year, there's different kinds of fish. So on these longer trips, as you're going far south, this El Nino, if it starts really kind of brewing up some big storms, maybe the later the better, because that usually happens to where in the early fall we start getting those big storms down there. All that warm water push. But I would say, earlier in the year, you're going to catch more of your yellowtail, yellowfin, and maybe even come back catch some bluefin up here, especially where things are going now. The later in the year, maybe a little bit better chance at some wahoo.
Like the fall.
The fall, yeah. And maybe even a better chance at getting some of that big yellowfin down the lower banks.
Yeah, they're getting them now, by the way. The red rooster.
Full speed. I mean, really good
nice
fishing.
One. Couple over 300 recently, couple over 200. Nice fishing on the rooster.
So it kind of depends on what you want to target. If you're going to go early, like you're saying there, in August, September, they probably wouldn't be targeting any of that big fish. Still catch some wahoo, catch some dorado probably for sure, yellowtail, stuff like that. But later in the year, you might see better chance at some bigger tuna down there on the lower banks.
Yeah,
so depends on what you want to do.
I agree. And who knows what the El Nino will do or not do. It's hard to tell, man. It might shove all that yellowfin up close to home. Like you said, it's the reason we love this so much. Richard says bring a hand grenade, I think. That's always works well.
Catches fish, I guess.
Yeah, that'll work. Tim Marquez. Hey, Tim, what's up, buddy? Hey, guys, what rig do you recommend for the 150-pound and bigger BFTs?
Yeah, I think what we were talking earlier, I mean, international 30, something like that would be ideal. But even something as small as maybe an international 16 size reel would be all right. If you're into the other brands, something like a Saltiga 55 or 60 would probably be about where you're at. And a rod that probably, when you're looking at the line ratings on the rods, it's a range, something that ends over 100. So like 120, 130, 150 would be the rod range that you would want to have as far as how it's rated for mono. Yeah.
All right, perfect. Naughty Boy 78, man, the questions for you just fly in. All these questions that I don't have the answers to, too, So let's see, Naughty Boy 78, how many setups would you take on a 5-day trip? Is 5 too many? Hell no.
No way. Yeah. I would say.
I used to bring 9 rods on a 1-day trip.
I would say 8 to 10. I mean, now with fishing what we have going on, depending on what time of year it is, you kelp patty fishing. You might do some deep water rock cutting. Who knows? I mean, you might do some big bluefin fishing. And within that bluefin, you might fish 30, 40, 50, 60, and maybe 100 pound. And you might even get into some surface iron yellowtail, depending on what goes on later in the year, out of the banks too. We had that great yellowtail fishing, surface iron fishing a few years back at Cortez. That was awesome. So, I mean, on that trip that I took that year, I had 2 jig sticks, So, I mean, add that on top of all the other stuff. Yeah, I mean, now with fishing and what we got going on, there's so many opportunities for so many different things. 8 or 10 outfits is definitely not on call for.
Try to cut back, but definitely take everything you need.
I think a lot of people make too much of trying to not take too much, but if you already have the gear, just leaving it at home doesn't do you any good. I know it's a lot to lug around, but I don't know. You could probably skip sizes. That's what some people do. Instead of taking 20, 25, 30, 40, they might take a 20 pound, a 30 pound, a 50 pound, and maybe an 80 pound.
Yeah.
Something like that, and then maybe a 100-pound outfit, something like that. But I take it all.
Sal Nunez, can't wait to see you guys at the Bart Hall show. Not as much as I can't wait to see you, Sal, that's for sure. And he's ready for the Malahini trip. I'm going to interview Bill Wilkerson, who now has the Horizon also.
Oh, that's cool.
So he's got both boats. I'm going to be interviewing him on Friday, and then, as I said, going down and seeing Diego and working that all out. Isaac says, do find it a better deal buying blanks and having a rod built. Is it better to buy blanks or?
If you're building it yourself, I mean, that kind of is. It depends. There's some manufacturers where the blank is almost half the price of a rod.
Yeah.
And so in that specific case, maybe not. It'd be cheaper to just buy the rod already made. And there's some of them where the price is maybe a third of the rod. So in that case, it may be cheaper to buy a blank and then make it. But it depends too. If you're paying somebody and how you're getting it wrapped, it might be pretty expensive to get that done. So it's a lot of variables in the custom rod. But if you wanted to go the most economical route, I would say that getting a rod made, there's probably choices that you can make. It may not be the exact model you want, with the exact guides you want, with the exact wrap that you want. But if you're willing to make some compromises, there are some products out there that where you can get all the pieces and built for less than a premium rod that might cost $500. I'm sure you can get something that's equivalent line size that's maybe $350 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So a person that can't afford is still in the game, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's, when you get to that point of trying to make a decision on what you're going to buy next, there's probably going to be some entry-level product that is going to be able to get you into the game for even cheaper than a custom rod would. But it wouldn't be one of the premium brands as far as that, but it would still be good enough. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. All right. Osborne's answer to will we have albacore this year is maybe. That doesn't work. I see you.
Cheater.
You're hiding behind that computer. That's not. And in fact, Scott Bucher fires right after that and says, is there going to be albacore this year or not?
Make a decision now.
Scott Bucher wants to know. Jolene Thompson, who's as lovely a person as you could ever want to meet, she keeps 17-pound mono and fluorocarbon in her tackle box just in case. Sage advice from her.
There you go.
Yeah, right?
No, that was a hot size last year for the Dorado. That 17-pound, yeah.
I was wailing on him with a 60-pound.
When you can, yeah.
Filming all the time. I know, yeah, the 100, break it out, man. I want to throw these yellows on. Dan Smith, Sam, what is your thought on Mad Max? Can I get away with 150-pound tied direct, or should I go to 200 pounds and a crimp?
You can definitely get away with 150 direct. I think that's probably the way most people did it on their own boats. We rigged up a lot of guys with crimping 200, which is kind of our normal big tuna thing, is 200-pound crimped. And those guys did good as well. But the guys that are doing it day in, day out, and maybe taking out customers, charter boats, commercial guys even, I think most of those guys were tying direct to the jig. It felt like it stayed in the water better. That's kind of like almost like the big, thing you got to accomplish is when you're trolling is how fast can you go without the thing jumping out of the water. And it seemed like tying it direct was able to do that a little bit better. So depending on your boat, I guess, if you can crimp, it's probably easier and faster, if you're having to change lures or things like that. But, depending on your boat, you may have to tie just to keep the thing in the water. So it's kind of like it depends,
Is there any lure out there that's going to bypass the Mad Max, that's going to be better or equal to it, or
can't tell you yet, man.
Oh, okay. What, you keeping it a secret?
No, not that.
I mean, do you see anything? Or?
Those guys in Ensenada will probably be the first guys to see
right?
it, But
yeah.
I haven't heard of anything quite yet. I mean, I don't think there's anything to change something that works so well. We'll have to see. And now that you can kind of get them, we have a good stock of them. I think most shops do have a pretty good stock of them. I think that's another thing what kind of made it crazy last year is that everyone was buying them up and reselling them and all this kind of stuff. So they were just kind of hard to get. So I think that kind of increased the demand. But right now the supply is good. So if you need some, I would pick some up. I wouldn't wait.
Right.
That might go away.
Right.
But if you have 10 or 12 of them already, you're probably good as far as your start. But I would imagine that if these things start working again like they did last year, there'll probably be a run on them. But it seems like, from what I was talking to the guys at Nomad, that they've ordered a lot more extra for this year. They've directed a lot of the inventory to Southern California market so that we get them.
Yeah.
And so it seems like, from what they've told me, they've made a lot of efforts to try to keep us in stock. So for now, I think that that's going to be the lure of this year again.
Okay, very good. Great question, Dan. No question about it. Anthony, Sam, we had plenty of opportunity at the Dorado this year. When we ran out of it, I never got that on any artificials. Is there one or two artificials that you could recommend? Sorry for reading like a moron.
So I think part of it with the jigs, you got to be real careful. The Dorado, they're known for kind of jumping and shaking their heads. Is, if you're pulling real hard, the jigs that come out and are dangerous, basically. But they do eat them. Poppers, smaller poppers, do work really well. Nothing real particular like this one brand or nothing like that. Seems like when they want to eat a popper, it'll be pretty aggressively. So that's one thing I would look at: poppers and stick baits. But you got to be really careful where you're fishing it. Probably just in the bow. If you're by yourself, something like that would probably be okay. I probably wouldn't fish at the back of the boat where there's a bunch of people. That jig comes flying out. It's pretty dangerous. So just be careful when you do it. But poppers and stick baits in like that 150 millimeter size range, right in there from 120 to 170, something like that. As far as that's usually how those things are packaged and sold by how long they are. So 120 to 170 millimeter, I would say, would be good.
All right, perfect. William, I think he's talking about the bluefin tuna that were caught in Newport Harbor. He said they were next to John Wayne's boat. You know the name of John Wayne's boat?
I heard about that. Yeah, I can't
what
remember,
is it? Like the Silver Fox or the I don't know what it is.
It
Hey,
has a
William,
name.
what was the name of his boat?
Yeah.
I got to know, but I'm sure that's what he's talking about. Thanks for sharing that. I want to know the name of John Wayne's boat, though. Anybody put that up first? Sam will give you a hug and a kiss the next time he sees you. David Maestro, so if you could bring 2 or 3 jig setups, what would be your pick for 3 days or less, 3-day trips or less? What would you do?
So for bringing 3 jig sticks?
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's kind of not that many.
I know. Yeah, he's trying to pin you down here.
I know.
He's looking out for the little guy that can't
Yeah.
afford all these jig sticks.
So, I mean, for myself, I would probably bring a CalStar GG90J. I'd probably bring a CalStar GFT 100J. And I would probably bring a CalStar 6490 mag. I mean, those 3 are pretty hot for me right now. But if I was going to recommend something to somebody else, I would probably recommend that United Composites, the 9E and the 10E would be 2 good ones to go with, and maybe even a Monster. Those are definitely rods that are a little different than the CalStars. Are a little smaller diameter, easier to handle, easier to manage for the casting. And that 9E, I would say, for somebody who is just getting into the surface iron thing, is probably one of the easiest casting rods out there. When a lot of guys talk about fishing an old glass rod because it casts so well, that 9E kind of reminds me of that. It's super slow, it loads up really, really easily, and it casts almost every jig really, really good. So for me, those CalStars are good. I like them a lot. But those United Composites, they really, really are easy casting rods. So I guess depending on who you're trying to direct the question at, but that's what I would do.
All right, Sam De La Torre from Island Fishing Tackle. Jason, who's going to be the cook on the Amigos here. I'm here, and I want to remind you to go by Island Fishing Tackle. What's the address there, Sam, if people want to drop by and see you?
21809 Avalon Boulevard in Carson.
And you're closed on Sundays?
Closed on Sundays, so yeah.
All right, so that's the only day you're
Take
closed.
one day off, right?
Yeah,
don't
with the
do
kids,
that.
yeah.
I know, your kids
Oh,
are...
when season happens, it ain't gonna be no days.
Exactly, man. All right. And also, hey, a reminder, become a Patreon member and help us produce more content for as little as $5 a month. You get all this great content, and you can do that by going to patreon.com and then search Friedman Adventures. Also, The Pursuit is running tomorrow and the next day. The Monte Carlo, the Freedom this Friday night. They all need just a few more people to make it a go. So if you're thinking about it, give 22nd Street Landing. Tony's up there. Well, he's not bored. He's watching this great show. And finally, Bob Osborne is sitting behind his computer and waiting for some final albacore questions. So if you have one, hit him up. He's waiting for you right now. All right, let's go to Isaac. How come we don't chunk for bluefin out here like they do on the East Coast?
I'm trying to think.
Was that a thing with yellowfin before that we didn't chunk for them and then we started like 20 years ago, or have we always chunked?
I feel like we've always done it.
Maybe.
I know with the bluefin, I know that in the beginning, I remember there was kind of a little bit of that. Guys were doing it with sardines. They were chunking sardines and having some success. So, maybe we just haven't tried it in a while. But I mean,
it's got to work.
Well, this is the thing I think when we're on the sport boat, it's one thing we don't really chunk, but when I'm
You're on a private boat,
I chunk all the time, and I catch yellowtail and everything. So that's where it's two different situations.
Yeah, I mean,
you got a tank of hot bait.
Right.
What are you gonna do? Fly?
Well, one of the things too with the bluefin, at least daytime fishing, it seems to me like just, and I'm pretty sure it's not like this all the time, and it'll happen differently different times, but. The bluefin just don't stick to the boat like yellowfin do, I don't think, and usually that chunking is something that you're going to do on anchor and have a situation where you have a chum line going, a chunk line going, and so you may not have the situation where it produces a good chunking situation or scenario. So I think to me, possibly it may have to do more with that. Just, it's not a good chunking, setup as far as that, but if you have the time to do it and want to try it, and you're getting consistent schools coming under your boat, I mean, maybe that might be something. I know that parts of the year, like in some of those offshore banks, you can anchor up, and fish bluefin. I know you guys did that on that one Legends trip where you guys were anchored up.
Yeah.
That probably would have been a time to have tried it,
Yeah, probably would have worked too,
But some of that offshore stuff, you're in thousands of feet of water. I'm not sure, you're just drifting way too much. So if you start a chunk line, you're going to be away from it right away.
Right.
So, I think the conditions have to be right. But yeah, it might work.
It might, yeah. I would definitely
It's a tuna. I mean, yeah.
Right. They've got to act the same, that's for sure. David Jimenez, by the way, hey, thanks for all the questions. Sam, how long have we been talking? I love to ask that question.
It's about 2 hours. I don't know.
Yeah, almost. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to say 10 minutes, and then I say no,
like
2
6
hours. And you
hours,
go,
right?
oh, wow! I can't believe we talked so long.
Is it Wednesday? Is it Wednesday already?
Screwed it up. That's it. You screwed it up.
It'll be a pizza.
Hey, but the point that Jason is making, he wrote something on the board to me. He's right. Just freaking steady questions for 2 hours.
Nice.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you all very, very much. David, I was buying circle hooks for tuna, only found the Mutu ringed circle hooks. Will those rings hold up, or should I cut them off?
Yeah, that's fine.
Use the ring.
Yeah, the rings are fine. I think currently they only make them down to a 1/0 in that circle hook for the standard Mutu. I think they are in the process of adding the ring to the smaller sizes down to a size 4. But yeah, no, the ring hasn't been an issue with the ring like breaking or nothing like that. So it wouldn't have any performance issues. I know some guys, will kind of go back and forth on whether a ringed hook or not a ringed hook. Some guys feel like the extra weight of the ring at times can slow down your bait a little bit. And so, when you're fishing out there with 30 guys, it's kind of a competition. You got to present the best bait. So at times it could be that on the one hand, the ring offers a little bit more mobility, but also offers more weight. So depending on your bait, if it's not super strong cured bait, you might find that you might want to try a ring without a hook without a ring, and maybe that'll allow your bait to swim a little better if it isn't a real strong bait. But usually these boats, especially out here, they usually try to put us on cured bait, if they can. But you want to play that one by ear. So that's maybe one thing you want to, that question about what should you bring, is maybe bring some hooks that aren't ringed, and on that specific day, that might be the little edge of getting a bite, especially when you don't have bait that's really, really good.
There was an over-under on how long we were going to talk tonight, too, with Tony up front there. And so he goes, when are you going to be out of here? And I said, 8, I'd say. He goes, no, Sam, he gets a lot of questions. He gets a lot. It's going to be over 2. So I think it is easily over 2. Jeff Yeoman.
All right, show's over.
540 Slingers Cup. I bought some skip. Yeah, really. See ya. I bought some skipjack I had in the freezer, used it for chunking bluefin tuna. It seemed to get them active, but it seemed like they were biting on the sardine even better. It makes sense, but...
They like fresh chunks too,
Yeah.
Yeah, even the yellowfin, you can't really use like 2-day-old tuna to chunk up,
Right.
Yeah, fresh chunks, they like to eat that.
William says, I make it here at home. You know what he's talking about? What were we talking about?
Make bait.
Oh, there you. Oh, yeah, there you go.
All right.
McBait. All right. Blue Skies. The last big albie bite was in 2007, wasn't it, Phil? I think Blue Skies. It was 2008. I will defer to Bob Osborne.
Oh, that's
who's
when
probably
those-
asleep now.
I think
That's why
when
we
those
haven't
big
seen
ones were. I think 2008, huh?
I think there was a really good bite in 2008.
Yeah, like
2012 we had like some fish,
Yeah.
not much, but a little bit. I just did the albacore forecast, so I have all these facts still in my head. I'll have them in there for at least another 30 seconds. So I'm trying to spit it out. I don't know about 2007. Maybe that was a good year too, but 2008 was a good year, I believe, and Osborne will hopefully wake up and give us the answer here. Let's see. Hello, Tim Marquez says, Dave Maestro. William, I wish I could buy a half scoop of 4-inch max.
Don't we
Yeah.
all?
Huh?
Don't we all?
Yeah. Yeah, I know,
Leave
man.
them out all
Such
day.
good bait, man.
Bluefin all day.
I wish
Yeah.
you could too.
Yeah, you got to go snag
Gotta
those
catch
little
'em.
devils.
Gotta
Yeah.
catch 'em.
Aaron says, I'm getting my passport this week. What boat do you recommend as a first Mexican waters trip?
Dude, whatever boat you can get on.
Yeah,
They're
I
pretty
know.
booked up.
Yeah.
And they're all
Uh,
great.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some good guys. Well, these guys don't go to Mexico. So,
No,
you know,
right.
Polaris Supreme has a very good
Supreme,
reputation.
Nilo Ann, Pacific
Nilo Ann.
Queen. I mean, all those
Pacific
guys
Queen.
have really stepped up their game. the last couple years.
Pegasus.
Pegasus. Pegasus is probably one of the most like looked over boats, man. I had an opportunity to fish that boat a couple years now.
And how do you like it?
Really nice.
Me too.
Very well run.
Yep.
You know, sister ship to the
Fortune,
for the
right?
Fortune.
Yeah.
You know, so the guys that fish the Fortune, you guys know it's the same. It's a really nice boat. It's a small group boat. I think 14, 15 people,
Right.
something like that. You know, but it's a really nice boat. Yeah.
Joe Chait just sold it, and
Yeah.
somebody took it over. Joe, I've fished with him, as I've said, many, many years, and I love fishing that boat with him. That was
Yeah.
so much fun. He used to have this freaking garden hose. You ever see those? You've seen that, right?
For-
So the albacore would come to the corner, they'd be chowing, he just, you know, they'd hose it, and they'd just create all that commotion, and the fish would go nuts. It was really cool. Really, really cool. So, yeah, I like that boat, too. I'd like to get on there again. I've been talking to a guy, Jacob, who works on there, and he's a super cool guy, and hopefully I'll get out with those guys here pretty soon. Manny Perez, wind on to bite leader or braid straight to bite leader for nighttime flat falls?
Either or. I mean, so this wind on bite leader has become something of a popular thing here the last couple of years. The one thing with that is that typically you're going to have a situation in which you're going to have to be able to crimp on your jig or crimp on a split ring. So you got to have a crimper too. Whereas the other way, you're basically, if your leader goes bad or gets chewed up, you just tie a new one on. Where the wind on, you can cut it back, but you'll have to crimp on a new split ring or a new jig. So if you're good with a crimper, I think the wind on leader is good. A lot of guys are doing that, and it works just as good. I don't know if it works any better. It allows you to use a little bit longer leader. You know, normally when we do our bite leaders, because of the swivel can't go through the tip, those bite leaders are only a couple feet long, where a wind on leader can be 25 feet long. So you have a lot more real estate, you know, to be able to
Gotcha.
to cut through.
Yeah.
But you got to be able to have a crimper and then know how to use it.
Yeah, gotcha. Fish Guy says, I'd rather take maybe too much on a big boat and maybe too little on a friend's skiff. Just my 2 cents.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
about
That
right.
makes-
Yeah.
Yeah, right? That does make sense. Let's see, Kevin Jameson. Kevin, thanks for being here, my friend. Took my private boat out for Dorado many times last season. So many times we could not get them to bite. You weren't the only one, Kevin. Let me tell you, it was frustrating for many, many, many trips. How do we get them to bite with limited chum capacity? Sometimes they're off the bite.
You got to go
Right?
find another school of Dorado.
Yeah,
when
there
they
you
don't-
go.
When they don't want to bite, ain't nothing you can do.
And
You
you
really
just
don't.
use the spray hose, like you said, that technique. I did that.
Maybe, yeah.
I did that.
Maybe.
Spray the water over the side, chum it out.
Yeah, sometimes those things just don't want to eat. You got to go find another school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what we were on the Amigo, and we were picking at them. But Jeff Markland on the Thunderbird called us up there. Man, I mean, it was just night and day. It
Yeah.
was full speed.
It could be like
this area fish
It
wanted
could
to
be
bite.
2 miles away and it's like full speed.
That's
yeah.
what it was.
Could be the
So-
next patty.
That's,
Yeah.
that's exactly what it was. All right, yeah, Kevin, that wasn't you. And sometimes you just can't get them to bite, and it's hard to drive when you see them all.
Yeah.
And they're not biting. It's hard to drive away from them.
hard,
but
yeah.
it's probably the sage
Sometimes
way.
not the kind of fish that will develop either. You know, sometimes they do, but you know, some patty fish, you know, you kind of just stick around, put a chum line out, and after an hour or half an hour or so, they'll kind of start to percolate a little bit. But Dorado, for whatever reason, when it doesn't want to eat, it ain't gonna eat.
I know. Well, and other fish too. Sea
Other
bass.
fish too,
you know.
yeah, they're there. You just think gonna eat.
Yeah. All right. Osborne says he's back. He's awake. Bob, wake up. Conditions right now look. He's talking about albacore. Look better than they have for a long. He didn't say long time, but I'm going to say for a long time.
What does that mean? We're gonna catch them out of L.A. or?
He says maybe. We want an answer.
Yeah.
Scott Bucher got upset.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bucher wants to know. California saltwater fishing going on a 3-day Polaris Supreme trip this weekend, man.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a 3-day. Dude, you gotta.
definitely over.
If you've got Wi-Fi, send me a message, please. Let us know how you do. Man, best of luck to you. Really hope you get them. What do you think our chances are at getting some bluefin tuna? I put the over/under at 25, and Sam scoffed at me and said way over.
Way over, 99.9%.
How many fish are they going to get on a 3-day trip on the Polaris Supreme?
26. I already said.
I say 96, man. Get them. That should be a great trip, man. You're on a hot boat. Aliar fishes hard and does a really good job. And that's Jason. Thank you, Friedman Adventures family. Please hit that like button, hit that thumbs up. We deeply appreciate that. Dan Smith says thank you to Sam. Israel de la Cruz says, Phil and Sam, man, we're going to 3 hours tonight. We're going to midnight. Your wife is going to
Order the pizza.
think something's going on. Yeah, I'm going
I'm
to order the pizza. Yeah, really. We'll just turn it over to hey, lock up, Jason, when you're done.
Got it.
Phil and Sam's prediction. Israel de la Cruz wants to know on the biggest BFT this year. I got to talk to Joe Martinez.
Yeah.
Because Joe catches them all
catch
the
'em,
time.
yeah. He'll catch
15,
him.
so I'll say 300
Jason says 300. You say?
easily.
395.
I say
I'll take it.
403.
Okay.
4 going over
403. Is anybody jumping in the water or anything? We got to get
Well, that's
Morrison.
okay, so I'll take
We'll
it.
get Morrison
If we
involved.
don't get a 375, then I'll jump in the water.
All right. That's fair. I don't have to jump there.
375,
He'll-
I'll jump in the water.
Somebody has to film these events. So that's me, right? All right. So there you go, Israel. We're all screwed up. Matthew Martin. What is Sam's favorite way to catch bluefin?
Man, that's a tough one. You know, there's different ways of probably
Good
my number
question,
one is
Matthew.
going to be fly line, just because tuna fishing and fly line it's probably the most fun way to get them. Just getting a bite like that, just line peeling off your reel. You catch the bigger fish on the jig typically as far as volume, but man, a good kite bite where you just see the huge explosion, I guess get your heart going. I think that's
Yeah.
as far as me doing it, I think if it was myself, probably fly line. As far as the masses, I think being able to get a good jig bite usually is going to catch you more fish because you're able to fish heavier line. But man, the excitement of seeing fish blow up on a kite, I mean, that's pretty unique too. So
Anytime you get that visual,
Yeah,
man, right?
yeah.
Surface iron for
Anything.
yellowtail.
anything you could see eating a jig or a bait or whatever it is you got out there, that's pretty freaking special. So.
Yeah, no question about it. All right, let's see. Joe Valerio. Or wait, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Ghost
Israel de la Cruz. Ghost Poppers might beat the Mad Max this year.
Maybe.
No.
So.
What do you think?
So those are the clear poppers, the tackle house feed popper, which became like another one of those things that you couldn't get. It was everybody
I
wanted.
remember.
Those work pretty dang good. Those work pretty dang good. It's usually an early season thing where you get a lot of that foamer fish, and it works so good. So, but I still overall, as far as the number of fish being caught, I don't think you're going to be able to match what those Mad Max did last year. I mean, that was pretty crazy.
Well,
Yeah,
you know for
it
sure
was-
why is because with the popper, you're going to be on lighter line. You're going to get beat
Yeah,
up on a
yeah.
200-pound fish. That's
I
why.
mean, there were definitely times before we had the Mad Max that there was a lot of fish caught on that clear popper, and guys were catching 60 to 100-pound fish, a lot of them. But everyone was targeting bigger fish, and it was so almost automatic. Once you found the fish, it was almost automatic that you were going to be able to catch one fish after another on that Mad Max. I mean, guys were putting in volume. The commercial guys, the guys that do it for a living to sell fish, even those guys were using them because it was that effective. So, we'll have to see this year, but I think that Mad Max is still going to be the number one way for a private boater. On the party boat, yeah, probably going to still be the jig, nighttime jig, but that popper, that clear popper, I think that's one that you got to have in your tackle box if you don't.
Yeah. All right, perfect. Tony Gonzalez. Hey, Tony, wake up, man. He's up there in the front, and he's going to... Have you seen him yet, Jason? Is he...
Oh, they were eating popcorn earlier laughing at us.
Oh, perfect. They're having
So we're working on the
popcorn.
rental rods. So
Oh,
we're-
Tony! Come on, you need some OT. Come on, man. We're helping you out here. All right, Joe Valerio. Hey, Sam, do you recommend a particular snap to use for heavy jigs, 250 grams and up? Or is it safer bet to tie the bite leader directly to the jig?
Well, as far as a clip, I mean, typically we recommend the heavy duty split ring. That's kind of what we've been kind of promoting here the last couple of years. As far as a clip, there, what ends up happening is that the jig itself, I wish I had one here, but doesn't always have a large piece of wire that sticks out of it to where you can put a big split ring on it or a big clip. So I wouldn't want to recommend that, as a broad way solution, because there are a lot of times where the clip is just too big for the amount of space you have there. So I would say to probably look at doing the split ring. That's going to be a way to kind of interchange jigs easily. But if you can get away with it, there are some heavy duty, 400, 500 pound
Getting laid,
clips,
isn't it?
yeah.
Oh, you're starting to lose your mind.
Yeah, snap swivels that you can use, but I'd still probably go with that split ring, the heavy duty split ring.
All right, perfect. 540 Slingers is having an event at Marine Stadium this
Sunday. No?
Saturday. Yeah, you screwed me up. Why? What's going on? You can't
I
make
work
it Sunday?
Saturday. I work Saturday.
Oh, you work. Okay, and
Maybe you can go early, but I'll only be there for like 20 minutes.
coffee and donuts
Yeah.
and, throwing the iron. Yeah, you should. Can I go? Wait a minute.
Yeah,
I'm in Mexico.
Oh, you're in Mexico.
Yeah, I'm screwed up with that. So I just want to mention that. Excuse me. And then Day at the Dock Sunday. And then the Bart Hall show starts the last Wednesday of the month, right?
Yeah.
And then runs into April.
29th to the 2nd, yeah.
Yeah. So that's at the Long Beach Convention Center. Isaac says, I use the ring hooks. They work great. No issues. You agree?
Yep.
All right. Brett, enter. And Brett, you are,
The winner.
he's a super nice guy. I love him.
Name of
His
the boat.
dad is wonderful. I met Connie and his mom. And so Connie drinks coffee with me every morning in the morning briefing.
All right.
Yeah, you should be more impressed than that. Anyway, he says
That's impressive.
it was the Wild Goose was the name of John Wayne's boat.
Yes.
John Wayne was nuts about Mexican women. Did you know that?
Yeah, I heard about
I think
that,
he
yeah.
married 5.
Really?
Yeah, he was married 100 times or something. And Scott Buchert chimes in and says, Wild Goose was John Wayne's boat.
Yeah, he knew all along.
Oh, that darn! I think Scott Buchert used to hang out at a place called the Wild Goose. He's got that
I
mixed
used
up.
to.
Yeah, it's a family show. Okay, Kevin Jamison. He's got a question for Bob
There you go.
Osborne. Osborne, here we come. And I think Osborne's got the answer
Yeah, nail
already
him
down
down
there.
right
here. Yep.
Bob, when you say conditions look better now than they have in a long time, what conditions specifically? Don't give me this, broad statement. Can you elaborate? Pin it down. God darn it, Kevin, I'm on your side. Water seems much colder this winter than the last several winters. Should we jump down to Bob and then we can jump
Yeah.
back
Yeah,
up?
we'll jump back
Because
up.
we got Jason here, so we can do it. Water has been good for 3 years, but this year it's slightly cooler right now than the previous 2 years. And Kevin, if that's not good enough, fire in another question. We'll ask the man right now. And plus, Bob, that water's moved 350 miles south. So I mentioned that. Didn't I mention that?
It's just right up here in San Francisco, right?
Yeah, stop. it was the Osborne, tell him. That's close. It's getting close.
Probably throw a jig out there.
Listen,
right there, yeah.
it's not finished doing its thing yet. It's going to slide down to
it's what it is
Ensenada.
now.
Yeah, that's where it is right now.
So we're going to be catching them off Ensenada?
Yes.
All righty.
I don't know. That's Osborne. I don't
Maybe,
want
huh?
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Kevin Jameson. Okay. Oh, yeah.
United Composite Rods.
UC rods. Okay,
Yeah.
for downtown natives.
Downtown natives.
Kevin I'm worried about reading one of these names sometime that's some like filthy thing or something. I'm just going to read
do
it.
that.
Seymour Butts.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever.
The Simpsons style.
Nah, I'm slowing down. Man, are you okay? I mean, do you need something? Water, coffee? I drank all this.
You guys promised me all this pizza. I don't know. man.
Well, we got to wait for the show to
We still have
end.
94 people on, and we got.
I know, there's a ton of
so
people watching.
we're
We should eat during the show. Maybe we'll do that next time you come in.
That's going to make a great show.
Hey, when I come in on the Migo, we'll bring in
Hey,
food.
yeah, this
Good
guy,
idea.
man, cooking up like crazy good stuff. Kevin Jameson. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize you were referring to conditions for albacore. Makes sense now Thanks, Bob. Thank you, Bob.
Yeah, set them straight.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, you can lay into them if you want, Kevin. Blue Skies, Blue Goose. The Blue Goose. Downtown Natives. How long do you think the Bluefin will be sticking around to our waters?
That's the prediction.
That's
right there.
a question. Yeah.
Never
Forever.
left yet.
Forever?
Yeah.
You're open, right? We're all open. Yeah, that's a question for Bob Osborne, maybe.
That is maybe, yeah.
Yeah, Bob, how long do you think the Bluefin will be sticking around? Is there any possibility that they will leave?
They've been sticking.
I'm sure there are. Yeah.
Of course.
So, so here's Osborne. Oh no, we already read that
Yeah,
one,
we
right?
got that
Okay.
one, so we're here.
Antonio Montejano. Antonio, great to have you here. I gave up on the ring, added weight to the sardine.
Yeah. No.
Sometimes.
Antonio's got a good solution there, doesn't he?
Yep.
You don't seem overly enthusiastic
Well, that's
about
just
it.
what I was saying. That some guys are opting to use non-ring hooks, feeling that the extra weight, it weighs down the sardine. So, I would say it's one of those things you don't want to rule out. I mean, making adjustments to your tactics is really, it's the question was asked, what are you going to take that's going to something people don't think about? I mean, you want to just kind of like try to be able to adjust to everything. Whether it's a line size, hook size, the length of your leader. Maybe you're using a 10-foot leader. Maybe you use a 25-foot leader. Maybe you use mono. I mean, I know that with Danny, he talks about that trip you guys did. Sometimes changing to a mono leader or long mono leader, like 50 yards, might be the secret. So maybe carrying some mono. It can get a little bit out of hand. You start factoring all the possible scenarios. You're going to have 10 tackle boxes, with all the different scenarios you can encounter. But trying to take something where you can make a little bit of an adjustment sometimes is the key to getting a bite.
All right, perfect. By the way, everybody, you can hear Sam tomorrow on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, what's the other one? I forget. Stitchers, all those platforms. Yeah. Sam will be on there also. You just can't see him. You got to go to YouTube for that. But you'll be able to hear him. There's thousands of downloads every month over there too.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty
We're
good.
all over the place, man.
That's pretty high pitch, really.
All right, William. Years ago, the Albies really bit on the slide. We'll explain what the slide is in a second because somebody might not know. On a 3-ounce torpedo sinker, that chrome sinker, man. That used to be the thing, right? Yeah, and a smaller hook size, like a number 4, right? You're right on, William. And be ready for a jig strike. Drop your bait and peel out line and wait. Yeah, I mean, some guys.
You used to wait next to the bait tank with the thing hooked, and you just throw them in the water. There you go. You let it out about 10 counts, and you put it in gear. You put your thumb on it. I mean, that was, I don't know.
I watched my brother hook a chovy on, and then put it, and then go in the galley and goof off, eat a hamburger or whatever, and then they yell hook up. He goes out, thing's dead.
Yeah.
Drop it in the wash, and it goes back going like this, and he was on. So you never know. We're talking about chunking. We're talking about choosing a good hot bait, and then you're confounded when some idiot like my brother drops this, bait that's just dried in the sun for 2 hours and he gets bit. So
that's why we love albacore.
I know. Isaac, I heard you could tie a perfection knot or something like that to get the loop and action of a ring hook. This is the man who threw $20 our way tonight, so we thank you one more time again. That's our pizza.
That is an awesome question.
Yes, it is. Yes, it's Isaac.
Oh man, this guy Isaac. Man.
I love Isaac.
I love his questions, man.
Yeah. Anybody else who throws a 20 is going to have another equally great question. Yeah.
But no, a lot of guys do that perfection loop, or there's a couple of different loop knots. But I used to also be kind of like that knot's no good. It's not strong enough, but I've seen it catch some big fish too, so don't be afraid to tie it. Just learn how to tie it, but it's pretty easy to tie once you learn.
All right, make sure you subscribe also to our channel, folks, so you are notified whenever there is new content. In just a few more hours, I'll be standing on the beach in the rain doing the morning briefing.
In the rain?
I did it last time. It was a drizzle. It wasn't like raining. Is it going to be rainy in the morning?
Rain in the morning, yeah.
Oh, man. I don't know. Sometimes I do it in
What time are you going to be standing in the rain?
I do it in the car if it's really bad.
No, you said you stand in the rain.
I'll ruin my camera.
Hey, I'm the one who said you're going to stand in the rain.
He needs a GoPro.
Do I have to do this now?
Well, you said you were.
I'll give you the GoPro.
All right, no, I'll do it.
You can be a liar. You can be a liar. It's okay.
No. I love you. You're too much. All right, Anthony says, so sorry. Trying to clarify. If we go for the yellowtail bite on the Old Glory, jig or knife jig?
Take them both.
Yo-yo iron? Yeah, both, right?
Take them both, yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't take up that much
I'm probably
room.
going to go on that trip because it's my last hurrah before I jump on the Amigo, and I think I'm going to take a bunch of slow pitch stuff.
When's the trip again?
It's like the 25th, 6th, 7th, something like that. It's like a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 2 day.
Oh, I definitely can't go on that. We'll be setting up for the show.
Yeah, but we're going to get down.
You guys are going to get them.
Yeah, that's
for
the
sure.
plan. I'm going to go have some fun and mess with people.
Yeah.
So Anthony Amalfitano's at work watching the show. I love this
yeah.
guy. The only thing that can be better is kids at school watching the show
Don't read the next
during,
one, too.
during
We all
math
know it.
class.
Don't read this one. We all know what the
Just
Wild Goose
kidding.
was.
Just kidding.
Oh,
Kids should be
man.
asleep. No, what time is it?
8 now.
No, they're still
Don't
awake.
read
Yeah.
Tim's thing. We all know what the Wild Goose
Oh,
was.
Tim Marquez says the Wild Goose was.
We don't care. We
Yo,
already
we're
know.
gonna tell. We're gonna
We
read.
know.
We don't. Was a strip club out by the airport. Did you know that?
My buddy,
You wouldn't
heard
know
it.
that, right?
Yeah.
my buddy worked there.
So I heard a story, not that I was a witness or anything, that Rick Evinger from Marina Del Rey Sport Fishing was in there with some guy, and he asked the guy to go get him a hot dog. So the guy, the guy asked, "What do you like on your hot dog?" And he said ketchup. So I found the freaking tapatio, and
You weren't there, yeah.
Oh, wait a
Yes,
minute.
you were.
The guy put the tapatio and then covered it with ketchup. And he takes a bite and he goes, "This is the hottest hot dogs I've ever eaten in my life." He couldn't even talk. It was so funny. I had a video of that. That's why I feel kind of like I was there. But what are you looking at me for? All right, 2009 was the last good albacore bite, says Scott Buchert. All right, and we're saying it was 2008, but we'll find out what Osborne says. De Maestro at Tim. Anthony Malfitano, come with me and Jason on the Old Glory on the 26th. I can get you on for $420
Oh, man.
for a 2-day trip. There you go.
It's with 976 tuna, that's why, so it's a little bit cheaper. So and there's
right.
still like 10 spots. So
97610. I remember that company. I think I had something to do with that at one point.
Maybe. Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
You didn't
The
have
voice.
to.
Anthony Malfitano going with 9762 instead of the Friedman Outdoors. Thanks, Anthony. Appreciate it. Israel De La Cruz. Hey, Sam. Are Shimano waxwing thing of the past, or do people still use them?
If you can get them, I think they're kind of getting discontinued, so they're a little hard to get. But yeah, some guys still use them. I mean, it's a good lure, but
They're trolling, aren't they? Because they say.
no, it's a casting lure. It has a really super erratic action on them. They just kind of never really caught on. They were kind of came out at a time in which we weren't really doing a lot of that kind of fishing, but it's a good lure. It's just I don't know if you can get them too much anymore.
All right. Are you good for a little bit longer here?
I'm great.
You are? Okay. We're not going to leave a question up there. If I see
I'm just waiting for the pizza.
Yeah. We need another 20 from somebody. All right, let's see. Bob Osborne, 2008, as I said,
Yeah.
was the last time he canned albacore. So, Scott, you're screwed up as usual. Scott said they had great wings,
Oh, no,
so
we
I've
had wings
heard.
too. Yes,
Whatever,
wings
I'm
and
gonna-
pizza.
Oh, he's talking about the...
Oh, no, the jigs.
Whatever,
Oh,
Bob.
the
I'm gonna
lures.
freaking catch some albacore and I'm gonna can them just so that it's not since 2000.
I got canned albacore at home.
They're good, man. There's nothing better, is there? We're having so much fun tonight. Thanks, everybody, for being here. I can see Sam is giddy. He wants to stay till midnight. Right? Your wife's going to think
Just
you're
like last time.
Yeah, I know. Every time we do this. Hey, Sam. Or no. Joe Sirwald. Going on the Pegasus in August, and it's not full yet. So get on it, guys. I'm stoked. Love the Pegasus.
Yeah.
And you're going with a great guy there, so that would be tremendous. We would love to see that also. Raymond Pacheco, Phil, Sam, what's up? Good to see you, Raymond. 450 on the Bluefin, says Steve Bermudez. And
big
Steve
one.
says he will jump in the drink here. Steve, we're holding you to it. Matthew Olson, what's the new lure going to be this year? Clear Mad Mac? Hey, he's probably right, Matthew.
Wow.
So
Maybe.
Matt, so he works at the shop too.
Oh, I do know him.
Yeah, he's a super cool dude. But
He's super
that's
cool.
funny. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that was the Matt that works at the store.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
All right.
He's gonna be running a little bit of a charter business this year too.
Oh yeah.
We'll have to get him on here if he he's kind of a shy guy too.
Well, we'll drag him
We'll
in
get him
here.
out here, too.
Yeah.
man.
They get that boat down here, he's gonna have to do it.
If you sit and hold his hand, he'll be all right, right?
He'll do all right on his own.
All right, perfect.
He's
Matt, we need
super
you.
knowledgeable.
Oh, cool.
As far as like,
I know who you're talking about.
With
Yeah.
his arm.
as far as like
a younger
private,
guy, right?
Yeah, private boater, bluefin fishing, and pretty much anything really. He's just one of those guys that he's a super hot stick, and he just is always at the right place at the right time.
Can you look into that camera right now?
You gotta come on the
and
show,
book him
man.
for Tuesday? Next Tuesday.
I'm going to talk to Andy. You're coming on the show no matter. I don't know about next Tuesday, but that boat's coming, and they're going to need to get on the show.
All right, perfect. Downtown Natives, yo-yo jig, definitely for the yellows. Yeah, definitely, right? You're catching yellows, you want a yo-yo, for sure. Steve Bermudez, Ralph Roca from Albacore Clothing gave a seminar at Del Mar, and him and his buddy gave away a lot of hot secrets on how to fish the Mad Max. I love Ralph. He was on this show, and he had kind of an inspirational story, and he was a great guy. So, yeah, right?
Talk to him at the show a little bit. He's a super cool.
Very
guy.
nice guy. Very, very nice. Ralph, if you're watching, hello. If you're not watching, screw you. No, just kidding.
No.
All right, and hit that like button. Man, we got a lot of people watching tonight. It's out of control.
So, yeah, 77 likes.
Man, I'm telling you, don't get me wrong. My entire quiver is all you see. Do you believe in the new GPX rod and their line rating? That's Downtown Native.
There should be one step up. Pretty much all those rods, the GPX line or the GP line is one step up. But yeah, I mean, whenever they make these kind of changes, sometimes on some of the models, you'll find that it makes a bigger difference than others. So it's a kind of a case-by-case basis. On some of them, I would say, it's different, but it's not necessary. On some of them, I would say, yeah, this is way better than the original. So I think that definitely it's not an across the board like yes or no on the whole line. In some models, for sure, it's way better than the previous model. So you might want to come down to the shop and we could kind of pull on them and I could show you. Sometimes some of this stuff is kind of like hard for me to really explain with words. You got to pull on it so I can show you what I'm talking about. But those GP rods, GP blanks is pretty much always sold at the show. I mean, Randy's got hundreds of items for sale.
Yeah.
And the new stuff is always what sells really, really well because he's always improving the product. But this new GP line, we got to get Randy down here.
Yeah, we do. He's another guy.
The new GP line is definitely what we sell a lot of.
All right, perfect. Jason had an empirical weather observation. It's still raining hard outside.
Still raining?
Here at 22nd Street Landing.
Meteorologist Lawler.
We haven't seen Tony come in the door yet and say, get the hell out of here. So I think we're okay for a little bit longer. Naughty Boy 78, Captain Tiffany Vague. I love her. She's such a lovely person. We got to get her on the show. Out of Santa Barbara is a world-class rod builder. Beautiful rods at a good price. I saw her work and picked up a rod at the Bakersfield show.
Yeah, she's
That's
cool.
David Bacon's daughter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she's lovely. I got to get a big hug from her at the Del Mar show, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, was she at the...
She was PCS. I saw her over there.
I
Yeah.
didn't see her there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right, well, cool. All right, Face Too Much OG. Sorry if you got this question already. No problem. Sam's here to answer your questions till midnight tonight already, but what reel setup do you use or recommend for throwing the iron stick baits on foamers with 60 to 80 pound leader? Did we get that question?
No.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
All right, great.
Right.
Perfect.
So any of those jig sticks that I was talking about are my favorite jig sticks. Something in a heavy jig stick, but as far as a reel, it's kind of hard to beat that Tranx 500. It's a reel that I know kind of, it divides people. Some guys are like, oh, I love it. Some people, they hate it. But specifically for throwing a popper or a stick bait, one of the challenges is that they're typically really lightweight, compared to a jig.
Yeah.
So they're hard to cast. Well, that reel is very, very good at doing exactly that. It has centrifugal brakes that work really well. You can adjust them to set them up depending on wind conditions and stuff like that. So it's probably the reel that I would use no matter what rod you're using. But I would say that Tranx 500 is going to be the key for this whole thing. 80-pound Spectra on that.
All right, perfect. Dave Maestro, need some likes or Sam can't leave. That's right, we need 100 likes. We're at 78, you guys. Hit that like button, get it to 99, and then torture them. Just don't hit the 100. Get it to 99.
I'm gonna hit it myself.
Not really. All right, Naughty Boy 78. I like this guy, the way he thinks. This is a casual show, and we're all family here. Just to eat. We all eat while we're watching the show, so why can't we have that pizza?
2 hours in?
Hey, once I start cooking on this, we'll be doing it.
I'm sorry, I choked it up. Joe Valerio, bless split ring pliers for the Owner Ultra split rings. My split ring pliers can't get them open wide enough. Now, you have the answer to this, and I think we've done some stuff on this, right?
Yeah, that Shimano 7-inch plier, split ring plier is probably the best one. I know that we have the other plier too that's coming in here. The guy Warren that makes the plier, those toy pliers, those blue ones that we did the little video on. You know, he's shown that it can open the big heavy-duty split rings as well. He's actually going to be coming to the show, the Bart Hall show, and he's going to be in our booth demonstrating those pliers. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, he's going to do a whole deal. Maybe you want to go down there.
Yeah,
and talk
definitely.
To him. Yeah,
definitely. Is he going to be there just one day or what?
No, he's going to be in the booth the whole time.
Oh, perfect.
He's basically helping sell the product.
I'm there.
It's his product. He's an engineer. He's got like 12 different kind of pliers, but we're talking about the split ring plier right here. But he's done a really good job of making some really quality tools, yeah.
Great. And he'll be at the booth at the Bart Hall show.
Yep, he'll be at our booth. Yeah.
Awesome. That sounds great. Bob Osborne is back with us. Portuguese fishermen call bluefin the tuna of arrival and the yellowfin tuna of return. Get the nuance there? Yeah, because you're never sure if the bluefin are going to show. Mm-hmm. The yellowfin always return. The difference is yellowfin are expected annually, and the bluefin is a surprise when they arrive. Yes, and that is part of what it is still today right? I mean, that's pretty good. Fish guy, fish traps on the slide as soon as the troll rod goes off. Absolutely, right?
Yeah.
Works very effective. I said we were going to define what the slide is. So the slide is you get a hookup on the troll lures, and the captain pulls the boat out of gear, but the boat continues to slide ahead. Do I have that right?
That's correct.
Thank you. That was a great explanation.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Your best one all night.
I got to get one right once in a while. All right, Steve Bermudez. Learn to tie the perfection loop and never spend another damn dime on a ringed hook. Steve's very cheap, so I think is he right?
If you tie it right, I've seen it catch some big fish. So yeah, I mean it's one you should definitely learn. But if you don't want to learn a new knot, that ring hook's already there.
Yep. All right, there you are. Steve, very good advice. Raymond Pacheco. I miss fishing those albacore on bonita feathers, even with the cuda. Yeah. Like feather rods. You remember those? Old Calcuttas?
Yep.
Yeah, and then you're with that chrome sinker and a leader.
There was a technique to that. It was definitely a technique, and the guys that knew how to do it
were on it.
Yeah. The barracuda was all over it.
And there was a lot of Japanese fishermen in those days that were super good at that, man. Yeah. Feather rods.
There was a little pump to them, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Downtown Native says, that sounds pretty accurate, Bob. That is very good, Bob. I like that with the Portuguese thing and the bluefin tuna. Israel de la Cruz, we can have a pizza now. Israel, you're always so generous, my friend. Thank you so very much, Sam, and I deeply appreciate it. Even though Sam's never going to see any of it.
Threatening everybody, too.
Who is?
He said, look, or else I'm going to have to cook Eggs Benedict till we get to the...
Oh, my God, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I'm in there, man. Hey,
it's like 5 in the morning.
We just blew up to 82 likes all of a sudden, Sam. You're getting close here.
They want me off. They want me off. They're like, get this guy out of here.
What are we at now? Like 2.5 hours or something like that?
Almost.
Yeah, all right, cool. DJB, and we never take a commercial break here. That's the beauty of Friedman Adventures.
Who's going to pay for a commercial?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm good. That's why I'm going today at the dock, see if I can con somebody into one. DJB, Sam recommends rod for casting heavy wahoo bombs or marauders.
I think we did the whole thing on that. I personally like a yellowtail style jig stick, 9-foot rod. But I would say most people that I would recommend, it'd be an 8-foot, like an 800 XH, like how they were asking for earlier. But 7.5, 8-foot, something rated 30 to 80. As far as a reel, I like the Trinidad 20, any kind of whatever your favorite jig reel is. But a lot of guys do go with a 2-speed reel. So whatever your favorite reel in that kind of same size, Jigmaster size, would be about right. A modern Jigmaster size, not an actual Jigmaster, but a modern Jigmaster size reel.
Got it.
Is about right. With the high speed, most of them have like a 5 or 6 to 1 gear ratio, which would be good.
Our fisheries expert, Bob Osborne, is back.
on.
And Bob
A
says,
great observation.
what we have now that we have never had before is a managed bluefin fishery with quotas and objectives to increase the spawning stock biomass by a factor of 8 to 10 times what it was 8 years ago.
And even in Mexico.
It's working, right? I mean, they're done with their seiner.
Every year.
Yeah.
Every year's the same way. They're done in a couple weeks. Yeah.
So this might just, I mean, Bob is, I think, making the point that this might just be the new reality, right?
Yeah. That would be freaking awesome.
Man.
Smart, and we can keep it going.
Yeah.
Brian Wynn says, I don't often tune in. Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, right.
But when I do, it's because Sam's on. Oh, he wouldn't watch if I'm on. Stay fishing, my friends. I thought Brian liked me. What the hell?
Well, he does.
I think everybody likes you.
Brian doesn't. Brian doesn't.
Yeah, I love you, man. What are you talking about?
Dan Smith, Phil, should do the morning briefing tomorrow in a red beanie and red Speedo. Dan, what are you trying to get people to go on a diet or something? That would kill everybody's appetite. Like Jacques Cousteau. Yeah, that is true. This will guarantee good fishing for the season.
He knows what's
If Sam does it, I will do it.
I got to be at
I'll
work.
jump
Yeah.
on there to
Yeah, there you go.
Fishing, I'm trying to work, you know?
Abraham Esparza. Abraham, great to see you here. Just got back from Ensenada, man. I love it. We're getting a report on one of those ponga boats. Trolling Rapalas, ended up with 19 huge bonita and tons of reds and chuckleheads. Too bad, can't upload pics here. Abraham, that's freaking awesome. I'll bet you caught those fish around Punta Banda. That's my guess, but you let us know. DJ B, Brian Wynn, great to meet you at the PCS show. Looking forward to your next guest appearance on Friedman Adventures. Me too, Brian is awesome. Bob Osborne, last really good albacore bite was 2004, 165,000 fish. Wow, we got to get back to that. Anthony Amalfitano at work just threw us $50. Anthony, I don't know how to express my gratitude.
A lot of pizza.
I think we may be doing something different now. Anthony, thank you so very, very much. That is deeply appreciated. It's a way we can produce more and more content, and I don't have to ask Sam to lend me $5 at the end of the show tonight. Thank you very much. All right, current jam. Hey guys, picked up a 40 fathom N1. I can't read anymore. Let's see. Want it to be my main go-to setup. Would you recommend 65 or 80 pound braid?
80.
Yeah, always 80.
yeah,
Your answer is always 80.
Always 80.
Yeah. Why is that?
Yeah. Well, on this
I'll
reel,
be able to answer these questions
on
pretty
this
soon.
reel,
80,
just say 80,
80. Yeah.
on this reel here, I think guys are asking about this reel. You know, that Fathom 80 is just one of the most popular reels, like I said. There's probably been more bluefin over 100 pound caught during this cycle.
Yeah.
Just because there's so many landings
Rent
use
rods.
it for rent rods, on the boats use it for loaners. So yeah, and almost all of them are going to have 80.
You know what? We're going to have to, at the end of the show tonight, these people will not know, but I'll publicize it later. What do you think they have here at 22nd Street Landing?
80.
No, what kind of reels for their bluefin?
I think they have. I saw
you
the other
know,
day.
huh?
I saw they had some fathoms.
I see them there, but I never
Well, I
took
know
the time
they
to.
bought a bunch off of me. They needed for a trip one
there you
time.
go.
They bought a bunch of fathoms, and I think they have some avets.
Oh, okay, perfect. All right, you already know the answer to that. All right, let's see. Joe Valerio going on a 3-day trip on the Pacific Queen on April the 28th. I have a great feeling about this trip. I do too, Joe, because you deserve it. Also doing a 2.5 in the Ocean Odyssey 8.6. Don't think I'll jump on any other San Diego boats for the rest of the season. Yeah, really.
You're gonna catch so much fish.
Yeah, well, I thought I'm kicking his ass because I'm going on the 26th, so I'm not doing that.
DJB, likewise, thank you very much. Oh, that's Brian saying to DJB.
Yeah.
All right. Current jam. When you're setting up your drag, do you set it to your weakest line, like floral, or main line?
Your weakest line. Yeah.
Always, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what's going to break.
Right.
Yeah. All right. You're not elaborating anymore. You're running
80
out of.
pound.
You're running. Oh yeah, 80 pound. Yes. Bob Osborne, 2008. Hey, man, the questions just keep coming. Tons of people are watching. We're up to 88 likes. You can almost go home. Not quite though. Bob Osborne, 2008 and 2009 were both in the 30,000s.
In 2009, I caught a albacore. It was on the Amigo.
Really?
Yeah.
Out of where? Here?
Out of Newport.
Oh, okay, yeah. So wait a minute now. I said 2008 was the big year. I was wrong.
No, well, he's not saying they were big. He just says that they were significant, but not big.
Oh, okay. No, but the big year with more
Yeah.
fish caught.
Yeah.
I think I was wrong. I think it was 2007, right? Or I don't know. Osborne, what was the biggest recent year? Because if that's true, Scott Bucher beat me in this thing, and I'll never be able to drive home.
Never let that out.
Hey, it sounds like the rain stopped.
Probably beat
No.
you.
No? All right, still going on. All right, Zachary Chen. Zachary, good to see you here. Did he answer the question about line on the Fathom 40? Interested in the
What
answer?
do you think?
I'm going to go with 40. Oh, no, wait a minute. Let me double that. 80. Is that a good answer?
I think so. It sounds like a good answer.
Zachary, it's 80, man. It's 80 on everything.
Nice setup. Nice setup.
Yeah,
Thanks.
it even says after.
What do you
80
fish?
pounds.
What pound test do you fish Corvina for in the surf? 80. Yeah.
With a 4-pound fluorocarbon.
Yeah.
Pay is his money. I have 80 pounds on my
There
Fathom.
you go.
40. Hey,
Oh man,
yeah.
I'm gonna get it at the
Zachary
shop.
says, "Gotcha, man. You're gonna get nailed. You're gonna have. You think they're gonna have a run on the banks here? They're gonna have
I'm
a
gonna
run
buy
on
some
the
80, yeah.
80. Yeah, that's what they're gonna have a run on.
Stock up.
Brian 034 Williams, Joe Valerio. I'll be on the Pac Queen May 9th for a 3-day.
There you go.
Brian, best of luck to you, my friend. Face Too Much OG. That's the same reel I was thinking of getting and fishing 80 pound on. He didn't say that. For the foamers and a Tranx 500 and an 8-foot rod rated 40 to 80 or 50 to 100, 80.
yeah.
Then a Penn Fathom 30 with a 90J for a surface iron bluefin.
Sounds perfect.
Oh, right?
Perfect.
What pound would you fish on that?
One guess.
No.
80 pound.
Let's see. Charles Martinez. Phil, come fish with Fish Arms in Bahia de los Angeles. There's some photos up here. This guy with the snowy grouper.
Okay.
I forget his name, but his name is Misael Martinez. Right, Charles? Am I right? Wait a minute. Is Charles? Are you related to Misael? Because you guys, I mean, that was so awesome. I love the Bay of LA. I haven't fished there for a while, but I absolutely love it, Charles. You don't have to ask me twice. I'll drag Sam down there, too, and we'll go down there, man.
I'm off work, I'd go.
Man, we're almost to 100. We're going to have to make
Yeah,
it
right.
200 if we hit 100.
Zachary right
No,
now,
he
two
can't
fifties.
leave. Go to 99, everybody.
5 more, we get pizza.
Sam wants to go. Don't let him go.
Yeah, we missed Zachary right here.
Oh, hey, and Charles, thanks again. Zachary, for us lefties, what is the ideal reel for fishing those knife jigs for bluefin? I have been eyeing the Fathom 40 and Abbott LX, but I'm not sure if those are big enough for the 100 to 130 pound class. He's fishing a little heavy there. He should fish 80, shouldn't he?
Well, the Saltinias come in lefties, don't they?
No, they don't. They don't. So the reel probably going to be either that Fathom 40, which is a good one, but you know, in the Abbotts, they make the HX Raptors, which is what Joe caught that big tuna on. They make that in left hand too. So I'd probably just go with that Abbott Raptor wide, but you can go with Accurate. They also make a left-handed version of all their reels.
Yeah.
You can get into a
That's Tony.
size 800.
Hey, Tony.
But there's a few options for sure.
Are we? Hey, Tony.
He's not
I
there.
thought I
No, we're
heard.
good.
All right.
We're good.
All right.
Hang on, I'm messing up.
Hey, watch your
Oh, yeah, he is
language.
there.
Hey, are we
Family
okay?
show.
You were the one who predicted
It's a
this.
family show.
Go ahead, Tony.
Every time he comes in, they ask.
Yeah, see?
Here we go, right here.
Are you okay with
I
this?
knew what I was in for tonight.
Tony Martinez is standing here very patiently,
Trying to throw us
just
out.
staring daggers at Sam.
Is he eating pizza? What's he eating?
Oh, where'd you get
No,
the?
it's
He's eating anything in his hands on. He's been here for 14 hours.
fine.
Poor guy. Are you okay? Oh, Tony's great, man. Midnight okay?
No,
Yeah.
but we're at 99.
11:45.
We're at 99.
Yeah, he's
We're at 90 and 99.
he wants to stay married. So, oh my God, we got 99 likes.
Yeah, and
Tony.
90 watching.
Tony, yeah, go like it. Yeah.
Hey, all right. Oh, yeah, Tony's gonna go hit a like, right? All right. Did you answer that lefty question? Yes.
Yes.
And then we got Charles, and now Anthony Amalfitano, who threw us $50. So his questions are by
Oh,
far
Anthony's questions.
the best.
Best questions I've ever
Anthony,
heard. This
there's
guy.
no
Hey,
doubt.
we just reached 100.
And the fact that It's got to be 150. Sorry.
Yeah, we're on
All right, everybody.
Oh, wait a minute.
Goal.
Hold on. You can't go anywhere.
Oh,
103, man. Look, it's going to 150 fast.
we're doing it.
Anthony Malfitano, we all need to step up and do the same thing for a yellowtail. It's obvious that the larger yellows stick around, but the smaller ones are gone. We need to take it down from 10. Who needs 10 yellows?
Probably not the worst thing. I mean, yeah,
I would agree with
5
that.
yellows is pretty good.
Yeah.
That's
If
a
I
good
got
day.
10 yellows, I would.
I don't know how many times you catch 10 yellowtail, but on those days, yeah, maybe limited to 5 would be all right.
You know what limit freaks me out or makes me like perplexed is I think the limit on legal halibut is 5. Right?
That's a lot of halibut.
How many times have you caught 5 halibut?
Never.
Never.
Yeah, exactly. So why is the limit 5? You would think it'd be like 2 or something like more.
And then they move our sheep's head to 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
That is a
Rocker stuff is
bizarre.
crazy.
I don't
It's
know.
100.
Maybe. Well, I mean, you can do it geographically, though. I know they catch a lot of halibut up there in San
Yeah,
Francisco.
maybe some places catch
where the
more.
cold water
Yeah,
albacore
yeah.
thing is going on now,
Yeah.
San
Oh, man,
Francisco.
that's San Francisco. That's northern.
Yeah. All right.
SoCal.
DJB, I'm sure the hot lure this year will be something that nobody has in their box. Brought to you by Nomad. Call me a cynic, but marketing is a powerful tool. Now, DJB is making the point that these lures are made for the fishermen and not for the fished.
Well,
Do you agree with that?
Some lures for sure. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, one of the things I will say about that Mad Max that's kind of like, you know, became a little bit of a joke in the shop was how many colors they had. You know, everyone had to have all the colors, but every single color,
Got
for
bit.
sure, somebody came in and said that was their best color. Every
Okay.
single one.
Yeah.
So I
It's
would
the old
say-
thing of what are you fishing with?
Well, also too, if you're gonna make something, you know, and you can sell them a lure, and if you make 2 colors, you'll sell them 2. If you make them 5 colors, you'll sell them 5. So there is something to that, but there's no doubt that lure was working. I don't know if the color had that much to do with it on most days, and maybe some days it did, but I would say that's like maybe the amount of colors is kind of a little bit crazy, but the thing did work. For
All right,
sure.
but yeah, he's right. I mean,
Yeah.
he has a point there, right? You got to hand
To a
it to
degree,
him.
to a degree, yeah.
Yeah, he just threw us $20, so not to a
Oh,
degree.
that's for sure,
100%.
100%, yeah.
DJB, you're number one. I think I saw you do that. So thank you so very, very much. And you are 100% right. I don't care what Sam says. Don't even listen to him anymore.
And we got them in stock.
Yes, MJM, Mark, hey, Phil, and Sam. Great to see you guys. Have a Tranx 400H. In your opinion, what's the heaviest braid? Let me answer this first. With about 25 feet of mono, you suggest on the reel to get the most length for big yellowtail or foaming bluefin tuna, 80 pounds.
Well, that 400, I think he said it's a 400.
I don't care what it is.
Yeah,
It's
we're
80.
talking
Probably 65 would be the
You
the-
switched it up on me.
But honestly, even on that reel, 50 pound is about right. It doesn't crank up as much drag as that 500
Screwed me
does.
up, man.
But the 400, maybe 65, you're going to get about 200 yards of 65 and about 300 yards of 50. One of the adjustments you might make there is trying to find a smaller diameter 65. Maybe go to that Max Quattro. And if you wanted to go to 80, you definitely would have to use Max Quattro. But maybe that Max Quattro 65 might be the solution.
Dave Clark is a big supporter of the Friedman Adventure family. Thank you, Dave. Sam, back to split rings. Do you like the Owner Ultra or the Hyper rings best? I usually use the Hyper 10 or 11.
Yeah, that Hyper 1011 is okay, but in the Ultra, you can go to a little bit smaller diameter in the Ultra. So kind of both of them. That big Ultra number 10, the biggest one, I think is a 10 or an 11. Man, that thing's hard to open. You got to have that special plier for that. With the Hypers, you can kind of get away with a little bit lesser of a plier, but that's the reason I like the Ultra is you can go with a smaller diameter, smaller ring, but still have the thick wire.
Bob Osborne says the biggest albacore year in recent memory was 1999 with 212,000 of those little
That was
devils.
the year I graduated from high school.
Jesus. Really? Man, I'm
Yeah,
that old.
99.
What year? You too.
93.
76.
Yeah.
That's
I was
brutal.
born in 75.
Old
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And I was getting out of high school
Yeah.
then? Oh my God, that makes me feel terrible. Scott Buchert says, I beat Philip.
You did.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Oh,
albacore
he had an
bet.
albacore bet
Yeah,
with me
yeah,
last year, and he says he beat me, but the Intrepid.
Pretty low bar.
Yeah.
He'll throw him under the bus.
Hey, Scott, you're not supposed to bring that out in public. I'll get even with you when I see you on Friday. I'm taking him with me.
Him in the water.
I'm taking him with me to my
TJ?
interviews. Well, no, the TJ, no. He's a maniac down there. I'm sitting in the Rosarito Beach hotel lobby at midnight, and I forget, Ruth and I, or whatever. And he comes strolling in, and I go, where have you been? He goes, oh, no, and then some guy walks in, hey, I saw you down at the strip bar. And I'm going, really? You're down there, you idiot? That's a dangerous place. Charles Martinez, Misael is our captain. Charles, you got to send me a message, and we'll see if we can hook up and come down there and shoot a video. We'd love to do that for sure. And I forget the name of the guy. He'll pop up here in a second. But that looked like some really great fishing. In fact, Diego and I have been talking about going there. So
Okay.
Diego, he wants
Oaxaca?
to tow his boat or whatever.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a long tow.
you're in on that one, right?
Let's go.
Yeah. Mark says, Sam, when you invent and sell jig bag floaters, I'll be your first customer. Because he dropped his jig bag here.
Oh, that's
And-
right.
yeah, remember?
We came back and got it though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
he did. In fact, Tony helped him.
Yes.
Tony,
yes.
the guy that looks really nice.
I remember he came to the shop. He told me all about it. I'm like, man, you'll get it, man. You'll get it.
Tony looks
did.
very nice and calm right now, but I think it's like right on that line where he's going to freak out pretty soon. If we had
We have so many messages, I scroll too far.
I know, man. It's
Jeez.
just this is not stopping tonight, Sam.
Here.
I don't know if we're ever going to get out of
Yeah.
here. Let's keep it going.
Yep.
All right, Charles is going to send me a message on Instagram. Oh shoot, man! Can you type my phone number in there? And
Yeah.
Charles, can you text me? Because I never look at Instagram. Or if you could send it on Facebook, what do you call it? Messenger? That would be good. But
So what's it?
657.
Hang on. 6, 5,
We get this right in a second. 657 227
227
6459.
59.
Anybody wants a list of our charter schedule, send me a text, put charter schedule,
Make sure I send it right. Look at it.
and I'll send it out to
Hang on,
you.
let's see the bottom.
Oh my God.
What is that at the bottom? Is that the right
657 227 6459.
That's it.
number? All right,
Yeah, that'll
That's
work.
the number we want.
Ooh,
Just roll
dude,
back
we
up.
still have more questions
There's a
here.
lot.
Yeah, here
I'm-
we go. And then we got that $20 too right there.
I'm loving it. And oh yeah, DJB, thank you so much.
Great question.
Another great questions. Yeah, Anthony probably a little bit better.
Anthony's the best so far that I've seen.
Yeah, but who else? There's been other guys. Israel.
Izzy, he's got a
Izzy.
twofer. He's got a twofer this year.
Yes, Izzy.
This time,
man,
yeah.
I love
We got a
Izzy.
message on there. We got the electric reels. That's gonna be a big thing with these.
Yeah.
With these black cod coming in and are doing deep swordfish fishing.
Okay, yeah, Jeff's a great guy also. Really super good guy. Sam, are you going to supply electric reels since we are going to be fishing deeper water?
Yeah, that's been kind of a big deal here, talking to all the different manufacturers, and they're already kind of backed up with, supply chain stuff, and there's electronics that goes in it. But yeah, if that's something that, especially if you're a private boater, I think you're gonna have definitely more opportunities to fish more deeper water. I'm still kind of like, I was talking to Mike the other day, is how are they going to handle this, being able to take rent rodders or whatever. They go 900 feet. I mean, I'm not sure how they're going to handle that, but I definitely say you want to work that out. The only kink in it is that none of the manufacturers offer a battery. I know that, what was the guy here that was here from Daiwa?
Yeah.
He's got a battery.
Christian.
Christian, he bought
was-
an aftermarket battery. It's
Yeah,
not-
you saw that, right?
It's not from Daiwa.
Yeah.
Talk to
So-
Billy K too.
There's definitely some solutions out there, but that's going to be the only thing you're going to have. I won't be able to sell you, but they are available. But if you're planning on getting an electric reel, I would get it sooner than later, because I'm pretty sure when that time comes in September, when the deeper water becomes available, that those things are already going to be sold out. For
Yeah,
sure.
right. So do it now, right?
Yeah.
Look on the East Coast for people selling their reels.
Yeah, you'll have to find it secondhand or
Or pull it from
overseas, or
Japan.
it's going to come from somewhere else possibly. But to be able to go into a tackle shop and just get one, it's probably going to be over by June, I think.
Scott Buchert says 2009 was the last year I got.
He's just
Do you know what that means?
digging it. Albacore.
Oh, albacore, yeah.
I'm gonna dig in.
Boy, Scott, you're a rat fink tonight. Hey, Scott,
Yeah.
Friday, man. I'm going to get you. Sam, I will put my Alexa 400 HD up against 500 Shimano any frickin' day of the week.
Me too.
Am I wrong?
Shimano, the 500 Shimano just holds more line.
Wait, this is Anthony. I'm Alpha
Oh no, Anthony, you're right. No, it holds more line. It's got bigger drags. So
Whatever, I'm a Lexa guy.
The Lex is a great reel, obviously, but it's just a smaller reel. It just holds less line and it's less drag.
Whatever, if you're a wuss, then you lose them.
Scott Buchert says albacore. Yeah. Okay, Albert Ponce. You know Albert. You fished with him at Dana Wharf. I know that now. I'm not restating that.
How do you know that guy?
Albert says, hey, Phil, I'm all over this, Albert. This sounds good. Let's get all these guys on a caravan-style trip down to the Bahia de Los Angeles, those yellows over there, and have some shoulders on them. That is such a great idea.
Bucket list for me, for sure.
So that phone number that I put up there, 657-227, if you are interested in doing that, just vaguely interested, send me a text, and Albert and I and Sam, maybe we'll put a trip together. Could you go on one of those? You never have enough time, do you?
It's a bucket list trip. I got to figure out a way to
You've never fished Bay of LA?
I never have, yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you got to do that.
Matt, the guy we were talking about, he goes a couple times a year. He just makes me so jealous. He kills it down there.
Yeah, we got to go. And you got Charles Martinez now. Charles, we're going to make this happen. Albert, that is a great suggestion. Scott Buchert says we need 13 more likes.
He's all right.
What is he talking about?
Oh, 95,
he's late.
The most we've been on so far.
Dan Smith says 100 likes. Yeah. Tony says, when are you leaving? Current Jam, thanks for the recommendations on 80-pound braid. I like this guy. The 40 fathom holds about 355, 80. That's enough. Eh? Yeah.
It tightened on the drag.
It should be about 400. Depending on what kind you put on there, but yeah.
All right, 80-pound. I'm all over that. All right, June Z, Makaira, or Vizix 20 for 100-pound. Well, first of all, I'd fish 80 on that. But,
they're both pretty good. They're pretty dang equal. I think the Makaira does hold a little bit more line, but they're both pretty dang good. Yeah, you can't go wrong either way.
Israel saw Misael Martinez. He's a captain at Bola, and he saw those grouper. And yeah, man, that was bitching. Jeff, electric reels, are they going to be the much-needed reel? Yes, they're going to be highly sought after.
If you're going to do that deep water stuff,
but why not get some exercise and just reel the damn thing in?
It's a lot of exercise, yeah. But kind of still has to be seen how much of that, how deep it's going to be. But you're taking a chance. If you wait till September to realize you need one, it may be too late. So it's kind of like guessing. We'll have to see when the time comes. I couldn't really say 100%. Oh, you better have one, or else you're not going to catch nothing. I wouldn't want to say that. But if you're fishing 900 feet of water, you remember back then it was crazy reeling up that much, and that was with a big reel. You wouldn't take 3 or 4 drops.
9-0 reel, 10-0 reel.
Yeah, 3 or 4 drops, you were done.
Yeah.
So.
Not when you're fishing friggin' commercially rod and reel, you're not. It's 14 hours of that crap.
We have 175 hooks.
Yeah, exactly, man. All right, thanks, everybody. Keep those likes coming. Sam still can't leave. We're not going to let him. Joe Sherwald, 3 flatty limit up here in the Monterey Bay. All right, thank you. I didn't know that, Joe. Yeah. Appreciate that. Steve Bermudez, if you fish a Penn 42 speed, why not fish 40-pound braid? Another guy that doesn't know the 80 thing, with a 100-pound or bigger leader or top shot. Have you ever seen a main line bust off?
Yes.
Oh!
Yes,
there you are, Bermudez.
So 2 reasons. First is you can probably break 40-pound. Other thing, too, is that unless you're fishing by yourself, you're probably going to get into a tangle at some point, or the line's going to rub on the boat. So you're using the 80-pound not only because you think you can break 80, but also because you want to have some little bit of insurance as to rubbing on stuff, whether it's another line or the boat.
Yeah. All right, perfect. Mark just sent us $5. Mark, thank you so very much. I really appreciate it. Really, really do. Israel, get Tony on a boat so the show will carry on. Yes, I think he's right, right?
It'll be hard for the boat tonight, but yeah.
Anthony Malfitano was born in 83. Oh, my God. I don't want to even hear it.
83, geez.
Anthony.
That guy.
Man. Anthony says, love you, Friedman family. Can't wait to see you guys on our first charter. Phil, when is that first charter again? Our first charter is it's in May, I think, up there on the Endeavor. At the end of May, we have a 2-day trip on the Apollo. We still have some room on that, too.
That's the one I wanted to do.
Are you going to do that?
I don't know, but that's the one. This is close to my birthday, I think.
I went down to do some more.
When's your birthday?
End of May.
End of May. What day?
23rd.
Oh, you're at 23?
Yeah.
Dude. 23 is my lucky number.
Is it?
You know that, don't you?
I just found out.
I was born on March 23rd.
Really?
My son Patrick was born on September 23rd. My brother Paul was born on February 23rd. My dad played college football at Ventura, and his number was
My brother was
14.
born June 23rd.
Really? Oh my God! No, there's some weird thing going on here, man. 23.
Whoa.
Do you play it in the lot? Do you ever play the lottery?
No.
Well, you should.
Today.
You know how
All
good,
23s.
You know how good that's been to me? No good at all. Yeah, right. All right. Hey, now wait a minute. Scott Bucher just sent $10. Scott, thank you. But
Scott.
it says Greg Bucher, and it's his dad's photo. Has he gotten his dad's credit card or something?
Probably, yeah. Send 100.
Dr. Greg Bucher's gonna. What the hell? I didn't send Bill Friedman $10. Scott, thank you. I'm assuming Greg's got better things to do
Look
than
at
watch
Rich's.
this
Look at
show.
Rich's.
Huh?
Look at Rich's comment there.
Right?
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, we'll get to that in a
Oh,
second.
wait, we're not there yet.
Yeah. We got Jeff says thanks, Sam, and Scott says how many rods should I bring on a 9-day trip at the end of October?
One.
October
One.
31st, October 9th.
It's 100 pound and 80 pound fluoro.
Just 80 pound.
How many?
I would say 10.
10 rods, Scott.
10 rods.
Yeah. Do you want to go through each one, or
Just like I said, 20.
you're really going to do this?
20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 80, 100. And you're going to have probably 130 and 2 jig sticks, or maybe a Wahoo rod and a jig stick. It gets to 10 really quick.
Tim Marquez just dropped a 20. These shows are actually almost worth doing now. It's 2 years,
Finally.
and we're finally starting to
Mark,
turn a
is it
corner.
the
We
20
said 8. We haven't
Tim,
broken it
thank
yet.
you.
Relax.
It's today the 23rd?
I'm giddy. I'm going to do another live show when
Do it
you
every
leave.
day, yeah.
Yeah, when you leave. I'll do one at midnight tonight. Tim, thank you. Really appreciate it. You and your they're playing they're playing taps. You hear it?
It's on, taps.
I wonder if can everybody hear that?
No,
I don't
think
know.
so. I
They
don't
can't.
They might be able
Taps
to.
is being played.
Richie Rich, I just wanted to say this is the best show on earth, hands down. Thank you guys for what you're doing for our fishing community, and great meeting you guys at PCS. Richie Rich, thank you, man.
Awesome.
And you didn't surprise me, but that was awful nice of you to say how many people recognize
It
you from
is.
doing
It's-
these
it's
shows.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's starting to boggle
It's
my
awesome.
mind a little bit because I was in the very first year of this. I kept coming into you and going, "Hey, we had like 1,000 views." You're
Yeah.
going, "Yeah, is that any good?" And I go, "I don't know. Is
And
that
I used
any
to
good?"
say, your name's Phil, right?
Yeah. Who are you again? Yeah, exactly. Scott Buchert, where is a good Wahoo reel? I think he means
in-
what is a good Wahoo reel.
Yeah.
But where is it's an island
in my
fishing
tackle bag.
tackle?
Oh.
Oh,
I mean,
island
we
fishing
got it right there
tackle.
in the block for you.
Yeah.
Trade at 20, something like that. And that's a jig master size, a modern jig master size reel. Anything you want to use.
All right, Anthony Malfitano, who asked the best questions of any person on this show.
I've never
tonight.
heard a better
He's on
question.
break. He's on
Oh,
break.
this guy's awesome. I don't care what he's on. He's number one.
I would say he's borderline genius.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Henniel. Right,
yeah.
that Henniel. Thank you, Sam, for never making me feel like I'm out of the loop, and especially starting right now. When I come into the taco shop, and I think he means tackle shop, because he's doing a voice thing, you always give me the great carne asada, the great treatment and number one tips. Thank you so much.
You got it, Anthony.
Yeah,
He's a
Anthony.
cool dude right there.
He's the best.
Yeah, he is. He actually
Anthony,
is.
the chair thing tonight,
was a good idea,
that was
yeah,
a great idea.
Yeah.
No, not a good idea.
Awesome idea.
Yes!
Best idea.
Damn right.
No, Anthony is my buddy.
The guy threw us $50 tonight.
That's
Come on.
crazy.
Yeah,
You know,
it is.
Anthony is with me with my boat, and we're putting a new motor on our boat, so you'll see us out there fishing more, and
There you
we'll
go.
see Anthony out here a lot more once we get that going.
Yeah, lots of reports coming from Chef Jason, not only about food, but
You guys have been
fishing.
busy.
Yeah, I got my
Yeah.
boat, so we're going to be fishing on the Amigo, and then when I'm off, I'm going to be fishing on my boat with Anthony, so...
Isaac
Busy.
says, I'm still watching. Just order the pizza, man. You know, you guys don't have to go anywhere. Blue Skies, Memorial Day weekend, 40 to 50 pound yellows. Those are nice
100%.
yellows.
That's a big one, yeah.
LA.
Oh, Bay Valet.
Oh, yeah, right on. I love it. L-A-Y, ear L-A. What is
Yeah,
that?
that's the Bay of LA, that's what he's saying.
Oh,
That's what it's
Bay of
saying.
LA. Okay. I'm all scared up. Isaac, enjoy that kettle popcorn from the guy outside the Bass Pro Shop.
All right.
Yeah, we're not there though, Isaac. What are you
It's
talking
good.
about?
It's
Isaac
awesome.
took 20 tonight.
That was
That's a good suggestion.
That was
God, I
delicious,
love
delicious
you, Sam.
popcorn. Delicious
Man,
popcorn.
oh, it was so good.
So good.
I'm on the keto thing though,
Yeah.
so
I
it's
should
a
have
little.
brought a soup. Everybody saying bring pizza. I should have brought a soup because I made some. I screwed up.
cold.
Sorry.
Hey, you've lost a lot of weight.
I've been trying every day.
How much have
Say
you
that to
lost?
me.
About 25 pounds.
What are you doing?
Just eating a little bit better, exercising every morning.
You're not doing like a keto thing or anything?
You said that to me too.
I thought he did.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Looking good,
Yeah.
looking
Both
good.
of us are.
Hell yeah.
Both of us are.
Yeah. How come we're getting blurry up there now?
Fish fight
Because
morning.
I
Oh.
walk by.
Oh, it's just this
And
TV.
It's because it's raining.
Yeah, it's not that. Anyway, thank you. Someone order a pizza for them, says Aaron. He's laughing. Are you going to have any special Bart Hall Friedman family discounts? Yeah, on the pizzas, I think. And actually, we're
I'm on
gonna
80 pound.
be blowing out the 80 pounds. Yeah, exactly.
That's so much 80 pounds.
This is the guy that has the. Are you gonna have any specials there?
Lots of specials. Yeah, I mean, we kind of just barely touched on the show, but I mean, we're expecting a pretty good turnout, and we're going to bring all the specials we were bringing to the other shows. If you haven't made it, we're probably going to have a few extra little, kind of last show of the year. Trying to throw in a little bit extra. So if you guys missed the other shows, I think you'll find that we're going to have some pretty cool specials. I mean, I definitely would come down.
We hit 3 hours. Jason's writing up there right now. I don't know what our longest show is ever.
And we're still at 87 people on. And my chair.
Whoa! Earthquake! Jason went
fucking
down.
broke.
He's
What the hell?
You haven't
The
fed
chair-
him. You haven't,
Yeah.
you haven't fed this guy. He's weak. He can't stand up.
the chair broke and he hit the
Yeah,
deck.
if you
Are you
fall on my
okay?
face. Jesus, we're at 3 hours.
Yeah. Do you see what happens when we hit? Wait till we hit 4 hours. He's
Still
gonna
at
break his
85.
neck.
We're still at 85.
All right.
85
Let me go
watchers.
back to this, and maybe I can read the last question. Anthony A. for president says Dan Smith. I second that.
Yes.
Yes. Arnold Ramirez. Thanks for switching out the real seat for me the other day, Sam. Guys have top-notch customer service. That
Thank you.
is absolutely
Thank you.
me too. Scott Buchard says it's been over 3 hours, and Scott's been here the whole time. But I haven't seen
That's
Bob.
why I wrote it on.
Where did Bob Osborne go?
He's asleep.
Hey, Bob, are you still there?
Okay.
Bet. Yes or no? Is he going to pop on? Yes or no?
Yeah, there he did. Oh, no.
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 I say he's going to pop on.
No.
Okay. Jason says no. Sam says
Hands
what?
down,
Sam,
yeah.
what do you say?
No.
I say yes.
Okay.
Bob Osborne will pop
All right,
on.
show's over. Oh, there
Woo! Woo!
This guy.
I kicked your ass there. Oops, sorry. I'm not supposed to say that. All right, I love it. Face Too Much OG, 90J versus the what the
Alua.
hell this thing?
I got it.
Alua 93. What the hell?
There we go.
For big yellows and bluefin. What do you like?
Probably that 93H. It's got a little more backbone. That 90J is real nice, but that 93H I think is a little bit more power.
All right, I'll go through these things as fast as I can and try to get you.
80 pound.
Here we
80
go.
pound, 80 pound.
Yeah, 80 pound. Man down. LOL.
That would have been the show right
Yeah,
there.
we
Hey,
should.
in the beginning.
Why didn't I run over and turn the
That
camera
would've been
around?
crazy.
Rich, next time you guys got to tell me, turn the camera around. He was like a turtle on his back there for a while, wasn't he?
That's
Pretty
what I
good.
did. Turn on his back.
2 hour, 59-minute chair. Yeah, Bob Osborne is with us still. Current jam. Top shots recommended if fishing private. I tend to go to braid to fluoro leader, but wonder if a top shot would benefit in any way.
Well, top shot by definition is anything that's past your spectra. But I think what he means maybe a wind down leader.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what he
Or
meant.
maybe he means a mono top shot could be. But you want once again you want to play it by ear. Whatever you think is going to get you bit first, I think that's going to be what you want to put on the end of your line. So I wouldn't really look at it as a private boat or a party boat thing. It's whatever you think is going to get bit, and don't be afraid to make adjustments.
All right, perfect. Let's see. Face to go get some food, fellas. Yeah. Israel says, Anthony, you should build a Friedman Adventure gaff where Phil brings it along on his charters, and the gaff are fish with it.
Hey, I'm second that one.
I agree.
A comedy show. It would be
What, with me
He's a
gaffing you?
goofy ass hook too.
Hey, I forget where it was. I think it was on the Amigo, and there was nobody there, and I freaking took the gaff and just one time right in the head.
Yep.
Got so
Felt so
freaking
good,
lucky. Oh, I mean, it was like, I'm not gaffing another fish on this entire trip, man. After that, I'm done. David Maestro, it's an awesome show. Great going. Dan,
That's a good guy right
There
there,
we
too.
go.
Dan Smith, Jason, don't take that three-legged chair on the boat. That would be a struggle. I like it, man.
day.
Yeah, that was good. We should have turned that
It
around,
just like
man.
melted down. It was,
It's like,
yeah, it was like slow
what the fuck
motion.
is
It was slow,
Like, what's going on here?
like one of
Slow
those
motion.
buildings, those demolished buildings that kind of go down like that.
Like, whoa.
Yeah. Anthony Malfitano, I can't bring pizza, but you three can come up to 20th and Patton and have some ramen noodles and vegetables. Jennifer is waiting. Love you guys. Thank you so much. I'd love to
take him
see
up on it.
your wife and kids. Yeah, I think Jason might be over there. You might have to, bandage him up too. Bob, any more albacore updates from Scott Buchert? Phil, when are you going to make your albacore predictions? Scott, I made them. They're on there right now. In fact, you can go back and listen, and much of this show has been dedicated to
Yeah,
this.
yeah. San
So,
Francisco, yeah.
Big year, Scott. You want to make a bet? $100. I say that the combined total of albacore in San
25.
Diego will be over 1,000 fish this year.
All
Not
right.
San Diego, SoCal.
Not San
us
Diego,
too.
SoCal. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Scott, well, we're not supposed to gamble, but go ahead, Scott. All right, that was Blue Skies. Next time, bring more coffee. No kidding. There's more coffee, but I can't leave the show. Anthony Malfitano, I will build as many Friedman Adventure guests as he wants
Could probably drop a
me
couple.
to make him a limited edition, all built, great products from Island Tackle. Man, Anthony, we're going to talk about that, but you got to make some money at this. So we'll figure something out and start selling gaffs.
How many gaps do you need?
I don't know.
You
I don't
probably
know.
drop a couple.
Is that the last question?
That's
Yeah.
the last question.
Oh,
Right
are we
now.
going to get out of here?
Right,
I
if
think
you
we
want to
better.
too, yeah.
We hit the last
Otherwise,
question.
we're done.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much. I'm going to thank Sam right now. Sam, great
Awesome show,
man. Jason, thank you. I don't know if Jason being on the show, because he was like a buffer before you came, so that was nice. But the falling down
It's
on
like
his
a-
face was
that
actually...
put it over the top.
You and I, yeah, but you and I were the only
Yeah,
ones who
they
could
got a little
enjoy it.
chemistry here, though. Maybe that's the whole deal right there.
Next time you got to fall out here.
When-
Hey,
Yeah.
it's fun. Maybe you can see me. Like,
Yeah.
trip over your three-legged chair.
Whenever
Hey.
he's here, he's kind of like can smooth it all out. He's the guy.
I'm with you. Now, we need to thank your wife and kids.
Yes.
Definitely. We can do that.
You probably should be asleep, but if you're not, Diego, Luna, I love you, and go to sleep.
All right. And one other person that we should all thank. I'm going to ask you to guess who that is. And if I have to give a clue, I will. But
Scott Buchert.
no,
Oh, that would be
that's
my
my
best
answer.
guess every
That's because
time.
I say that every single time. He
Tony.
Tony. Tony Martinez,
Tony.
thank you. All right. Yeah, you get a
Love
little,
Tony.
you got some overtime out of this too. All right, I'm going to read a couple more of these
Hey, you
things.
didn't say Tony's gotten so many phone calls about fishing. Keep calling the landing.
There you
Keep
go.
calling the
And ask him
landing.
questions and bother him because he needs the hours. Bugging him. I'm going to be fishing on the 1st. Need to get our boats filled. So.
Freedom, Pursuit, Monte Carlo, all going in the next few days, please. All right, Abraham says, I appreciate all the fishing info you always are giving us. Pro tip, my company does live YouTube podcasts too, and discovered going live on Facebook and YouTube at the same time triples your audience. Hey, thank you,
Yeah,
Abraham.
Hey, Isaac said 400
We're going
pounds.
live on Facebook next
That
time.
means I only have to be here a third of the time.
No, it doesn't. No. I'm going to have a hard time talking you into the next show now. Hey, and you're going to be at Bart Hall, so,
Bart Hall.
right? Yeah.
100%.
Joe says, thanks, guys. Eric says, great show. Albert says, best show ever. Isaac says, great show tonight. I say a 400-pound bluefin. Scott Buchert, okay, you're on. Oh, $100 bet with Buchert.
There you go.
Good night, says Fish Guy. Current Jam, so much fun. Thanks, guys. Joe Valerio, thank you, guys. Always a great show. Joe Valerio, looking forward to Thursday's show with Danny Cadota.
Yeah.
And Danny's Cadota's special guest will be Pete Demers,
Oh.
the coach or the athletic trainer
Yeah.
of the LA Kings for 25
awesome.
years,
Awesome.
and Joe Russo. I don't know if you know Joe.
Yeah.
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 And those two guys. That's going to be
And
a,
the
That's
Kings
gonna be
are
a good
liking
show.
going to
first
be a
place,
great
so-
show. In fact, I think Danny's goal should be to beat the time of this show. Yeah, he
I
should.
think you should try to beat our 107 likes.
He should. Yeah, right. 107. Come on, make that 110, you guys. You can do it. All
We're
right.
here.
Sir PV Surfer Dude, looking forward to taking you on.
Oh,
Freeman.
yeah.
What's that?
So that's the boat that these guys are going to have. It's going to be Freeman. I don't know if you know Freeman. Those are those catamaran boats.
You mean like Phil Friedman?
Phil
You
Freeman?
wish.
Yeah. So this is like, this is like all the top charter boats that are doing,
They're
bluefin
fast,
fishing.
right?
They're super fast, super stable. It's man, that's pretty awesome. Now, I think now there's like 3 or 4 on the West Coast.
Yeah.
And these guys are gonna have one. It's the top of the line boat.
Where are they running out of? Redondo? Or?
No, I don't know, somewhere out of here. Probably
I
out of
know
here.
some guys are running a Dana one, and then of course Billy K
I
has
think
his. And
I think
then-
they're running,
Dude, we're on it with you,
yeah,
man.
I think those guys are gonna be here out of San Pedro. They're both
out
from there.
out
here.
of 22nd?
Awesome.
Well, somewhere here. I'm not sure. I don't want to speak for them, but it'll be
It will
local.
be nice.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, I'm trying to read these as fast as I can, but if I delay, then...
Keep talking.
Yeah, all right, I'm sorry. 80 pound. Face too much, OG. I will be at day at the
Doc.
night, fellas. Yeah, I'll be there too. Anthony Malfitano. What do you say about Anthony?
That's a great
Thanks,
guy right
family.
there. Yeah.
Can't wait. Yeah. Richie Rich, good night. Jay just throws a buck, and we deeply appreciate
Hell
it.
yeah.
We do. And he cruises at 45 miles
go.
an hour. We're out of
There you go.
Pedro,
That tells you right
Israel. Here's Tony. We gotta cut this off. Or he's gonna kill it.
I just wanted to say, who's Tony Ramirez?
What? You?
No.
Oh, Tony Martinez.
No.
Tony. What the hell?
Montana.
I forgot your name now.
Gonzalez.
Gonzalez. Did I say Martinez? Or what did I
You
say?
said all kind of stuff. Yeah.
When was
Hey,
the last time Tony has been on the water?
Hey.
I was on the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you are. You want to come out here and talk to
No, I
everybody?
don't.
But you can tell us when was the last time, because you need to get out there. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. What are you picking on me for?
Somebody asked the question.
Hey, he just fell on his face.
Dude, these guys.
And we're never going to get out of here.
It says,
Hey,
when
sit
was
on
the
that
last
chair
time
right there.
Tony's been on
Yeah.
the water.
Turn the camera around.
Yeah, really.
He wants you out there.
Oh, there he is.
Yep, see? It's like.
Been a while.
Well, we got to get you out or
It's
something.
coming, though.
I
It's
gotta
coming.
Have some boats go out. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we've been pumping it up,
What did
man.
we say? Call the
Freedom, Pride,
landing.
Apollo, all of them.
Apollo, everybody's gone. Apollo 619-761-0882.
This weekend.
What a memory.
Make it
huh?
happen. Sea bass are biting.
Yeah, you saw it up there on the board, didn't you? Yeah. All right. We're almost.
All right, all right.
Are you okay?
Yeah,
We're done. We're trying to kill
We
this.
thank
Breaking
you.
records here.
Tony
Hang on.
Gonzalez.
Let me put on. We're trying to kill this.
Tony
guys.
Martinez is another guy that I wanted to thank.
Yeah,
It's
I know
not that I
many
mixed
people.
your name up.
I'm Scott.
You must be getting late. Scott Bucher's out of
Hey,
control.
Have you heard
Scotty.
any good shark stories lately?
Ooh, was Scott? Oh, yeah, really? No kidding. Yeah, we'll make that our secret. Is Sam at Day at the Docks? No,
won't
he's
be,
not,
no.
Scott. Talk about the Day at the Docks. Scott, we've been talking about it all night. Phil Friedman will be at Day at the Docks. We'll make it a wonderful situation. Franklin Preste, whoever else you want to mention.
He doesn't have a podcast.
Phil Friedman will be there. Nobody will show up. That's if I get back from Mexico in one piece. Great show, says David. Maestro, Blue Skies, handshakes, face too much. Mike Meredith, Trans 500. Graphics guy says hi. Current Jam. Friedman Night Out, drinks and food.
Yeah,
I'm
I
drinking
know.
coffee, but I'm in. Let's go. Mike, ask again.
Mike asked if we missed his question. That's why.
Oh, did we miss Mike's
You
question?
missed my question. I didn't have a chance to roll up, but let's see where Mike is.
All right. Well, this is going to do it, I think.
I still don't see, but I told him to ask it again. So
All right.
ask it again.
Sorry, Mike.
Ruben Lopez says, good night, guys. All right, you're going to, hey, Mike's, we're done. Well, hold on. Sam, thank you. Jason,
bud.
thank you.
Pleasure,
Jason,
pleasure.
thanks.
Definitely, guys.
And what else can we say? Thank you so
very
much.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate
much, guys.
everybody who threw some money our way. We deeply appreciate it. I'll see you in a few hours on the morning briefing. Take care, my
In
friends.
the rain.
In the rain.